Chapter 634. Are there any signs of the house being flipped? Baya asked Leng Qiuzuan. No. I'm sure about that. Isn't the murderer worried about the evidence? If he was worried about the evidence, he would have searched everywhere, right? Baya asked suspiciously. In this case, the murderer is confident that he has the evidence, or the evidence is what Minister Zheng wanted to say. Now that he's dead, no one knows about this secret, Leng Qiuzuan guessed. If that's the case, as Minister Zheng's lover, he should be in danger. Since he killed Minister Zheng, why didn't he kill Lady Zheng as well? Baya was surprised. She scanned the room again and had a bad feeling. Could it be that Minister Zheng wasn't killed to silence him, but because of a grudge? Leng Qiuzuan guessed. If there was a grudge, it would be too much of a coincidence to kill Minister Zheng when he was about to go to prison. Also, it's too much of a coincidence that Minister Zheng was so calm. Baya looked at Minister Zheng's body indifferently. Such a strange way of killing. Who is it for? A strange light flashed in Baya's eyes. Not good. Get the Internet Management Department to monitor the Internet as much as possible. These photos may have been leaked from the scene. Leng Qiuzuan stood still. Are you ordering me? Baya was stunned. She knew Leng Qiuzuan's arrogant personality very well. She walked towards the door. Leng Qiuzuan blocked her way. How do you know they will release the photos? What's in it for them? I don't know what's in it for the time being, but the murderer didn't make Minister Zheng look like he was deliberately trying to confuse us. It's too fake, and we can see it at a glance. But since he did it, he must have a purpose, and that purpose is to create a sensation. A strange death. Minister Zheng's identity is a point of attention. What's the purpose of attention? Is it a show of force to the police? Aren't there still contradictions? Leng Qiuzuan was strict. No matter what their true motives are, we must stop whatever they want in order to prevent things from getting worse. Baya said solemnly. He walked out and said to Shenyan, hurry up and find someone to monitor the internet. I'm worried they'll post it online. Nonsense. If they wanted to do that, they would have done it long ago. Why would they wait until now? Director Zhao refuted immediately. That's because we haven't arrived yet. If I'm not wrong, they have been observing us from nearby. When we arrive and they feel that the time is right, they will release the news and tell the media who is coming, Baya explained. Guess? Do you rely on guessing when you do things? Women always think that their sixth intuition is very accurate. If their intuition is accurate, why do they need us policemen? Chief Zhao said bluntly. His cell phone rang. Baya couldn't be bothered with him. It was too tiring to argue with him. He was obstinate and self-righteous. Hurry up and give the order. Otherwise, it'll be too late, Baya said to Shenyan. Shenyan nodded. In some aspects, he still trusted Baya. He believed in Baya's wisdom. He saw Chief Zhao hang up the phone with a bad expression. He looked at Shenyan and said, someone posted the photo online. It's very detailed. They even took a photo of us coming over. You idiot. Why didn't you believe what my wife said? Now it's great. Lin Shulan scolded. Shulan, don't be rude. Since things have come to this, scolding is useless, Baya ordered. Lin Shulan immediately shut up. Lu Shuang looked at Baya with admiration. Baya was really the person she admired the most. It was in the past, and it was still the same. Why didn't she have such a good brain? Leng Qiuzuan was also surprised. He was the second best judge. Not many people dared to challenge him. However, after working together with Baya a few times, he felt inferior. What do you think we should do now? Shenyan asked Baya. There are no signs of the house being searched. Department head Zheng thinks he can sit back and relax. The other party isn't afraid of being exposed. From the way he killed, it seems to be a professional. It's different from ordinary people. There's a very powerful person behind him. He already has everything under control. He even predicted that we would come. We will investigate the case. According to our normal procedure, the next step is... Baya looked at Lady Zheng. Madame Zheng had already stopped crying. She lowered her head, and her hand that was holding the napkin was trembling. Baya's eyes narrowed, and a sharp glint flashed across her eyes. Control her. Zhang Xingyu and Lin Shulan rushed over and arrested Lady Zheng. How dare you? Who gave you the right to kidnap someone in front of our eyes? Bai Ya, don't go overboard, Zhuochuani shouted and stood up. Lady Zheng looked at Zhuochuani. Zhuochuani glanced at Lady Zheng. Say what you want to say. Cover her mouth. It's not the time for her to speak, Bai Ya ordered. Lin Shulan followed Bai Ya's lead. He immediately covered Lady Zheng's mouth. Bai Ya, you don't get along with Minister Zheng. Don't tell me you're trying to stop Lady Zheng from speaking because of the murder? Zhuochuani said angrily. It's not that I don't get along with Minister Zheng. I'm just punishing the evil and promoting the good. I've already obtained the facts of Minister Zheng's crimes. I've also submitted them to the police and the parliament. These crimes are enough for Minister Zheng to be sentenced to death. Why would I do something unnecessary and get myself involved in a lawsuit? Anyone can kill Minister Zheng. Even I can't. Zhuotong, what made you so irrational? Bai Ya asked calmly. It's not that I'm irrational. Why did you treat Lady Zheng like that in front of us? Even if her husband committed a crime, his family wouldn't be implicated. Moreover, her husband is dead now, Zhuochuani said sternly. I did that because someone installed a pinhole camera in our room. Zhuotong, do you really want the content of our conversation to be posted on the internet before it's verified and censored? That way, it'll become the public's baseless speculation. The truth will be revealed to the public once it's verified. But before it's verified, it'll only cause panic and unrest. Isn't that right? Zhuotong, Bai Ya asked. Zhuochuani's face darkened. You're saying that there's a surveillance camera in our room? Director Zhao, investigate, Shinyan ordered. Yes, Director Zhao instructed. Chapter 635. Indeed. Otherwise, I wouldn't have asked you to assist in the investigation, Shinyan agreed. We can't continue with the interrogation today. The murderer is lurking not far away, and the room is filled with cameras. The investigation will waste a lot of time. There might even be a bomb. It's late now, and everyone's physical and mental state isn't good. I suggest we continue the interrogation tomorrow. Mr. President, what do you think? Bai Ya asked seriously. All right. The main thing now is to deal with the matters on the internet. As for the rest, we'll set a time for the meeting tomorrow. Zhuotong, what do you think? Shinyan asked Zhuochuani. Zhuochuani looked embarrassed. He smiled and said, Miss Bai, firstly, you're not from the government, and secondly, you're not from the police station. Lady Zheng is the most important witness now. It's not appropriate for you to bring her back. With all due respect, Minister Zheng is your subordinate. Many people will think that Minister Zheng was killed because he knew something unknown to you. Of course, I don't really believe in rumors. After all, in this world, many people aren't as smart as you, Zhuotong. Zhuotong should avoid this taboo, right? It's taboo, isn't it? Bai Ya said indifferently. Her expression was calm, graceful and calm. Zhuochuani blushed and raised his voice. I don't want to take her back, but I'm worried about you. Worried about me for what? Bai Ya asked back with a smile. Zhuochuani was speechless. He paused for 3 seconds and said, Do you dare to issue a military order? If anything happens to Lady Zheng, you'll be fully responsible. Bai Ya smiled. She was still calm. Why should I issue a military order? Then you can't guarantee her safety. Zhuochuani pointed at Bai Ya. Some people want to silence her. Who do you think can guarantee her safety? Bai Ya said deliberately. From the corner of her eyes, she saw that Mrs. Zheng, who had been struggling, had calmed down quite a bit. She continued, At least, my husband's dark shadows are currently loyal to me. I believe you have all heard what kind of existence the dark shadows are. They are loyal to the country and the people. They are the elites of the special forces. As long as it is right and right, they will not hesitate to sacrifice their lives. I can say that even my people can't guarantee Lady Zheng's safety, let alone your people. You're a woman. How could you privately form a team like this? Isn't that a violation of military discipline? Zhuochuani pointed out the main point. I'm just telling you about their abilities. They're not soldiers anymore. They're just security guards I hired. Is that okay with you, Zhuotong? Baya said frankly. Zhuchuani was speechless. But he was still unwilling to give up. He said coldly, "You're so eloquent. You don't have to stoop to the level of a woman." Shenyan smiled. "Since Watong doesn't have any objections, I don't have any either. Let Baya bring them back first. We'll discuss the details during the meeting tomorrow. I only brought my assistant here. I don't have anyone with me at the moment. I hope Mr. President can lend me some people first," Bai Ta said cautiously. Shen Yan nodded. "I'll give you a team. But after I send you to your place, to prevent people from gossiping, my people will withdraw. Is that okay?" Bai Ya nodded. "All right." She walked out. Zhang Xingyu and Lin Shulan worked together to bring Lady Zeng to the car. Zhang Xingyu drove the car. Bai Ya sat in the front passenger seat while Lin Shulan and Lady Zeng sat together. After the car started moving, Bai Ya turned to look at Lady Zeng. She instructed Lin Shulan, "You can untie her now." "You're Bai Ya?" Lady Zeng glared at Bai Ya and questioned her. She didn't expect Bai Ya to be such a beautiful lady. She was the prettiest girl she had ever seen. In terms of aura, she was even stronger than Hua Zixing. Bai Ya didn't even look at her. She looked straight ahead and said leisurely, "I advise you to lower your head now. Otherwise, when your head gets blown up, your son won't be able to live either." Lady Zeng's face turned pale. "How do you know about my son? Are you in cahoots with Zhuchuani?" "I didn't figure it out at first. But after seeing Zhuchuani's sudden rage, I figured it out. This murder was probably a setup, right?" Bai Ya said with certainty. Lady Zeng leaned on the chair. Her eyes were filled with fear. "How did you know? How did you know everything?" "At first, I thought that your husband was silenced because he was very relaxed before he died. He even had the time to eat crabs that were hard to handle. But your house wasn't ransacked and the murderer was still able to post the photos on the internet. He wasn't afraid of the matter getting out of hand. Then, it wasn't as simple as silencing someone." Then, he heard Zhuchuani say, "What do I want you to say?" He roughly knew that this was a trap. Not only did it expose the case, but it also made people think that you were killed. Even if your testimony was not true, it would still cause a lot of commotion. "Your testimony can't be against me because I'm not an absolute threat to Zhuchuani. I'm guessing that your testimony might be about Shen Yin. Then, it's possible that Shen Yin killed him to silence him." Bai Ya analyzed slowly. Lady Zeng's face turned pale. "Are you a demon? You're too scary. You're a monster. Monsters eat people, but I don't. On the contrary, I'm saving you. Have you ever thought about what will happen if you frame Shen Yin?" Bai Ya looked at her and asked. Lady Zeng said defensively, "He said that he will let me and my son go abroad and give us a sum of money so that we can live a carefree life." Bai Ya laughed. "That's because you don't understand Zhuchuani. You helped him frame Shen Yin. Shen Yin has an invisible hand. Moreover, Shen Yin has a lot of forces that you can't imagine. To Zhuchuani, letting you live is like letting a time bomb beside him. It's enough to blow him up." Lady Zeng was in a daze for a moment. She thought for a while. "You think that Zhuchuani will kill me and my son? I don't think it's useful." "What do you think?" Lady Zeng's body trembled as she thought about it. Every word that Bai Ya said hit her heart. "Zhuchuani said that my husband is finished. He will never be able to get out of prison. He might even be sentenced to death. My son and I won't have a good life in the future. Moreover, when I thought about how he found a university student outside, I was angry at him. I also thought that he might as well let me and my son be. That day, my son was taken away by Zhuchuani. I went home happily and said that the matter had been resolved. I knew that it was time for him to die." Chapter 636. "But if he doesn't die today, my son and I will be the ones who will die. When I was washing the dishes in the kitchen, I received a message from Zhuchuani. He told me that if anyone asks me about any secrets, I should testify against the president and say that he has an illegitimate child." Lady Zeng told Bai Ya everything she knew. Bai Ya's eyes glinted. That was close. If it was revealed that Shen Yin had an illegitimate child, not only would Shen Yin be in deep trouble, but Lu Shuang would also be in danger. She could not let anything happen to Lu Shuang. Are you willing to testify against Zhuchuani? Baya asked. Can you protect me and my son? Lady Zeng begged. Baya thought about it seriously. She was not a person who would make irresponsible promises. She had to do what she promised. Otherwise, she would not be able to eat or sleep well if she kept it in her heart. She had even thought of a plan to save Lady Zheng's son. Sure, I will do my best. But I want you to change your statement. You say that it was Zhuchuani who instructed you to frame Su Zheng. He asked you to say that Su Zheng had something to do with the framing of Gu Lingqing's uncle. Is that so? Lady Zheng thought for a while and nodded. Baya, actually, old Zheng knows about Zhuchuani's secret. It has something to do with Gu Lingqing. It has something to do with Lingqing? Baya was shocked. Lady Zheng was about to speak when Baya saw a flash of light and a loud bang. She saw the explosion from the corner of her eyes and instinctively hid behind the chair. But the scene was too terrifying. It was as if it was frozen in her mind. She did not come back to her senses for 3 seconds. Zhang Xingyu braked and shouted anxiously, Madam, are you all right? Baya came back to her senses. I'm fine. Just want to see how Lady Zheng is doing? She turned around and saw that Lady Zheng was badly mutilated. Her face was unrecognizable, and half of her head was gone. She probably couldn't survive. She really didn't expect Zhuchuani to put a bomb in her mouth. It was probably on her teeth. Fortunately, the car was modified and made of titanium steel. Even if it exploded, as long as she hid behind the chair, it wouldn't affect her. Zhang Xingyu shouted worriedly, Lin Shulan. Baya's heart tightened. Lin Shulan was sitting behind her, and she couldn't see him. But thinking about it, she was protected by a chair, but Lin Shulan wasn't. She quickly got off the car and opened the back door. Half of Lin Shulan's body was blasted into a bloody mess, and he had already lost consciousness. Shulan, 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 Baya shouted anxiously. Zhang Xingyu ran over. Madam, please get on the car as soon as possible. It's too dangerous to be exposed to the air. I'm fine. Send Shulan to the hospital as soon as possible. She must be saved. We can't let anything happen to her. Baya ordered. Her eyes were red. I have to ensure Madam's safety. Madam, please get on the car first. Zhang Xingyu opened the car door and looked around cautiously. Shenian's car arrived at the same time. Baya tried her best to calm herself down. She had to look at the bigger picture. At this moment, she couldn't be a burden. She got into the car and closed the door. She took a deep breath. Zhang Xingyu, check the surveillance cameras. Are they still useful? Zhang Xingyu immediately checked the surveillance cameras installed at the back of the car. They're all destroyed. What about the memory card? Zhang Xingyu showed it to Baya. The memory card was burnt too. Baya furrowed her eyebrows. Lady Zheng was dead, and the truth was not captured. The good thing was that Zhuchuani's plan was ruined. Shenian was safe for the time being, and Lu Shuang was fine. But for Baya, Sherlan was injured too. She felt a pain in her heart. After all, Sherlan was her subordinate. Get in the car first. Drive to the nearest hospital. I'll call Ling Xiao now and ask him to prepare the best doctor, Baya ordered. Yes. Zhang Xingyu got into the car. Shenian's men came over and asked, What happened? I saw a fire just now. Was it an explosion? Someone planted a bomb in Lady Zheng's mouth. My men were injured. We need to go to the hospital now. There's no time to waste. Ask the forensic doctor to go to the hospital directly, Baya ordered. Yes. Zhang Xingyu drove to the hospital immediately. Baya made a call. Leng Xiao, there's an accident. Zhuchuani planted a bomb in Lady Zheng's body. Sherlan is injured now. We'll arrive at the First People's Hospital in about 5 minutes. Tell the doctors there to get ready. Okay, I'll call them immediately. Do you know who killed Minister Zheng? Leng Xiao asked curiously. Zhuchuani, I had already gotten the evidence, and the surveillance cameras had captured it, but now the surveillance cameras have been destroyed. It's all my fault. I should have installed a remote surveillance camera. Now, the memory sticks are all burnt. I don't know if the technical department can restore it. Baya was annoyed. Leng Xiao knew that Baya didn't do it on purpose. Baya was good at planning and the other party was not easy to deal with. He comforted her, "Since we're here, let's take things as they come. Zhuochuani is very cunning. He's more low-key than Xing Dongqing, but he's more shrewd than Xing Dongqing. He's also very popular. He's more difficult to deal with than Xing Dongqing. We have to be more careful next time. That's all for now. I'll call the hospital," Leng Xiao said and hung up the phone. The smell of burnt meat filled the air in the car. It was a disgusting smell. Baya closed his eyes and endured the uncomfortable feeling. Lady Zeng said that Minister Zeng knew about Zhuochuani's secret. This secret was related to Gu Lingqing. What was it about? Minister Zeng must have threatened Zhuochuani about this. That was why Zhuochuani comforted him on the surface but killed him behind his back. Moreover, the bomb that Lady Zeng mentioned could be remotely controlled. Zhuochuani didn't kill Lady Zeng when she said that he was behind the scenes. Instead, he detonated the bomb when Lady Zeng was about to tell the secret. The bomb was detonated in time. So, besides the bomb, Lady Zeng said that there was also a monitoring device. What secret was it that made Zhuochuani so nervous? Was he related to the death of Gu Lingqing's father? She had a headache thinking about it. She couldn't think of any connection. Because she couldn't think of it, she felt that there must be a big secret in it. Her phone rang. It was Xinyan. She answered. "What happened? Lady Zeng is dead? Did you get anything out of her?" Xinyan asked anxiously. It was Zhuochuani who killed Lady Zeng. Zhuochuani is now controlling Lady Zeng's son. You'd better save Lady Zeng's son as soon as possible. He is in danger now. Zhuochuani is a cautious person. Since he killed Lady Zeng, there is no need to keep Lady Zeng's son alive. I asked him for his son now, but he refused. I can't do anything to him, Xinyan explained. Zhuochuani's target is you. Baya reminded her. I guessed it. Xinyan wasn't surprised. Zhuochuani was the only one among the three who still had his strength. His target was the position of the president. Before the other two came to their senses, they would definitely deal with him. Hello, everyone. I'm Qin Tang Tang. You can follow me on WeChat. Chapter 637. You'd better be careful. Zhuochuani asked Lady Zeng to say that you have an illegitimate child. Although he doesn't have any evidence, there's no smoke without fire. I don't want Lu Shuang to be in danger. We've already killed her parents. We can't let her get hurt again, Baya said solemnly. Other than me, Su Jiran and Xing Dongqing, the only ones who know about the relationship between Lu Shuang and you are Xing Dongqing. Su Jiran would have said it long ago if he wanted to. On the other hand, Xing Dongqing is a ticking time bomb, Baya said worriedly. He's keeping a low profile now. He won't target me unless it's absolutely necessary. Zhuochuani is the one in danger now. He's too ambitious now. Moreover, it's just the loss of Minister Zeng. It's not a big loss for him, unlike Xing Dongqing who has already left the government. Baya understood what he meant. He didn't want to touch Xing Dongqing for the time being. She was a little annoyed and they were almost at the hospital. That's all for now. One of my subordinates is injured and the situation is very serious. We'll discuss it later. She hung up the phone. Zhang Xingyu looked at Baya worriedly. Is the president not going to deal with Xing Dongqing? He wants to deal with Zhuochuani first. Our people have been following Zhuochuani for a long time and have investigated him for a long time. There's no problem at all. It's not easy to deal with him. Zhang Xingyu was melancholy. Baya remained silent. She was still thinking about Gu Lingqing's secret. Her phone rang. She saw that it was an unknown number. She didn't want to pick it up, but she thought that it might be Xing Buhua, so she picked it up. Are you okay? The people I sent to protect you said that they saw a fire in your car. Are you on the way to the hospital now? Xing Buhua asked worriedly. Hearing that his voice wasn't hoarse, she felt warm in her heart. I'm fine. Something happened to Shu Lan. She's almost at the hospital now. Don't get out of the car. I'll pick you up right away. Don't come over, it's very dangerous. Also, Lady Zeng said that Minister Zeng died because he knew the secret of Zhuochuani, and this secret is related to you. What kind of secret do you think it is? Baya asked confusedly. He could only ask the person involved. Xing Buhua paused, lowered his eyes, and asked, "What is the secret about me?" "I don't know. Don't come over. Wait here for Shu Lan to be sent to the emergency room. Leng Xiao will send someone to pick me up. Don't worry. How can I be at ease?" Xing Buhua interrupted her, "Don't go to the hospital. There are too many people and it's too chaotic. It's not convenient for an Ing to hide. You'll be in danger. Many people want to kill you now. Just stay in the car and don't move. You can't help. Listen to me, that's all." Before Baya could say anything, he hung up the phone. Baya sighed. When Gu Lingqing became stubborn, she was no match for her, although he had been patient and tolerant enough to her. However, there was also some sweetness in her heart. She knew that he had risked his life to come here because he was worried about her. This was probably the only thing that gave her the courage to continue fighting despite her grief and exhaustion. She wanted to fight for her and Gu Lingqing's future. The bus arrived at the hospital. The doctor and nurse were already waiting at the door with a stretcher. "Take care of Shu Lan. Don't worry about me. The Dark Shadows people are nearby," said Baya to Zhang Xingyu. "But the forensic doctor will be here soon. It's not safe for Madam to be alone in the car." Zhang Xingyu was worried. "Don't forget that this is a modified car. I'll activate the safety mode later. Don't worry, I know what to do. Hurry up and send her up. Don't delay the treatment," urged Baya. Zhang Xingyu looked at Baya and then at the unconscious Shu Lan. "All right, madam, I'll send her up first. I'll report to you later." Zhang Xingyu carried Lin Shulan, placed her on the stretcher and pushed the elevator. Baya closed the door and leaned against the chair to take a nap. She didn't know why, but she was especially tired today. There was also a vague sense of uneasiness. She couldn't tell what it was for now. Xing Buhua quickly entered the secret passage. His eyes were sharp as he looked ahead, emitting a murderous aura that could destroy heaven and earth. He had guessed that it was Zhuchuani who killed Minister Zheng. He had also guessed that Zhuchuani was good at killing people with a borrowed knife. The person he wanted to deal with might be Shenyan. Shenyan was also on the opposite side to him. It wouldn't do him any harm to weaken Shenyan's power. Therefore, when Baya left, he didn't say his guess. However, he didn't expect that the person who assassinated Gu Lingqing was Zhuchuani. This should be the secret that Minister Zheng knew. Gu Lingqing was his younger brother. He had to take revenge. Moreover, Zhuchuani dared to hurt the woman he loved the most. He couldn't be forgiven. "Are the documents ready?" Xing Buhua made a call and asked coldly. "Almost. Send them to my email." Xing Buhua hung up the phone and sped up. He was eager to see Baya. He was afraid that something had happened to her. When Baya was about to fall asleep, someone knocked on the car window. She glanced at the person's eyes. He was gentle and capable. He wore a white forensic uniform and held a box in his hand. He should be the person called by Shenyan. She pressed a button and the chair rose up to form a glass cover, protecting her inside. Then, she pressed the remote control and opened the door. The modification of her car cost tens of millions, which was more expensive than the car itself. The forensic doctor was amazed. After a moment of daze, he came in to work. Baya leaned back on the chair and continued to rest with her eyes closed. Her phone rang again. She sighed. It was Shenyan. She picked it up and greeted weakly, "Hello." "Baya, I need to trouble you with something." Shenyan's tone was solemn. "What's wrong?" "My man is dead. I've confirmed that he is related to the death of Lu Shuang's mother. He was the one who sent someone to assassinate her. I was going to finish him off with a mission, but I didn't expect him to die first. I suspect that there's someone else behind this," Shenyan said solemnly. Baya sat up straight in shock. "Who is it?" "I don't know. Formless reported that he committed suicide. Everyone saw him jump down from the roof. No one pushed him. I thought that he committed suicide to escape punishment. But his grandson just turned 1 month old. Even if he committed suicide to escape punishment, he should have left some last words, right? I just checked the surveillance footage, and it shows that he went up to the rooftop alone and jumped off. Before that, he stayed in his room the whole time. During that time, only his orderly went to the rooftop." Shenyan thought it was strange. What about the communication records? Who did he contact before the accident? Chapter 638. What about the food? Is there a problem? Baya thought. I've sent a plane to pick him up and the forensic doctor will examine it. But I don't think there's anything wrong with the food. I've also investigated the orderlies around him. There's no problem. So, it's more likely that he committed suicide. It doesn't sound like a crime. There's no murderer, no communication records, and no suicide note. But it's really strange. Send the surveillance video to my email. I'll watch it when I get back. You must protect her, Lu Shuang. If anything happens to her, Shinian, I won't let you go, Baya warned worriedly. Don't worry. If anything happens to her, the first person I won't let go is myself. As long as I'm alive, I'll protect her with my life. If I die, I'll die before her. Shen Yiyan promised. Baya still believed in Shen Yiyan, just like how she believed that Shen Yiyan loved Lu Shuang. She hoped that Lu Shuang and Debao would have a good ending, so she betrayed Lu Shuang's whereabouts. If things could go back to the past, she wouldn't tell Shen Yiyan about Lu Shuang's whereabouts. At least then, Lu Shuang could live happily with her parents. It didn't matter even if she could never meet and chat with Lu Shuang again. At least she knew that Lu Shuang was happy. Unfortunately, there was no medicine for regret in the world. She hung up the phone and looked at the forensic doctor. After examining Lady Zheng's body, the forensic doctor put her in a body bag and took her away. The forensic doctor was still collecting the remaining facial tissues at the scene. Baya turned her face away. In fact, Lady Zheng was also a poor woman. She looked glamorous, but her husband cheated on her and raised several college students outside. She must be in pain. The key was that Minister Zheng knew the secret and she was implicated. She also loved her son, so she promised Zhuochuani. There was nothing wrong with a mother's love. Thinking of this, she picked up her phone and dialed a number. Zhuochuani saw that it was an unknown caller and did not pick up. Baya sent a message over, I'm Baya. There's something I want to discuss with Zhuotong. Zhuochuani did not reply to the message. Baya continued to call Zhuochuani. This time he picked up. Baya pressed the record button. Woman, what do you want? Zhuochuani lost control of his temper and shouted. Baya smiled. There were many reasons for anger in the heart, but the trembling of anger meant that the other party was in fear, which was a good thing for her negotiation. Actually, I think you should be able to guess what I want. After all, I'm not the only one with Lady Zheng's voice recording on the car, Baya said calmly. Zhuochuani was shocked. You installed a surveillance camera in your car? If you can install a surveillance camera and a bomb in Lady Zheng's mouth, why can't I install a surveillance camera in my car? But it's a pity that the surveillance camera in the car was destroyed. Fortunately, I still have a copy of the remote surveillance camera. Baya chuckled. What do you want? Zhuochuani said in a low voice, trying to suppress his murderous aura, but it leaked through his teeth. Zhuotong, don't be nervous. If I wanted to send it, I wouldn't have called you. I just want you to let go of Lady Zheng's son, Baya said calmly. That's it? Zhuochuani obviously didn't believe her. Of course, if you're willing to tell me what Gu Lingqing's secret is, I'll be even happier. But you killed Lady Zheng because of this. I'm worried that I won't be able to live another day if I find out. I don't have any deep hatred with Zhuotong, right? Baya negotiated. You don't have any hatred with me, so why did you mess with Minister Zheng? Don't tell me that you don't know that Minister Zheng is one of my people, Zhuochuani said sarcastically. I didn't mess with Minister Zheng on purpose. I'm really angry. I was the one who solved that sensational case. It was the torture and murder caused by the education department. I don't think it's wrong for me to expose Minister Zheng. Since Minister Zheng is in the wrong, he should take responsibility, right? Baya asked. What do you want his son for? Zhuochuani returned to the main topic. Baya chuckled. Didn't you hear my conversation with Lady Zheng? She promised me. Although I didn't have the chance to do it, I should keep my promise and do my best to save her son. Why would you be so kind? Do you want him to testify against me and get my secret from him? Let me tell you, it's too late. He's already been fed to the dogs. Release the recording. You're setting me up on purpose. No one will believe you. Really? What if I recorded the entire conversation we just had? Bai Ya, do you think I'm as stupid as Xing Dongqing? Your ex-husband recorded it. I've already played the recording on my phone. If you don't believe me, you can listen to it. There's only your voice in the recording. Also, don't you dare try to do anything to me. Otherwise, I'll make sure you die a horrible death. This is the last warning. Zhuochuani said and hung up the phone angrily. Baya furrowed her brows. She was still done. She didn't manage to save Lady Zhang's son. She sighed and pressed the recording button. Just as Zhuochuani had said, there was only her voice in the recording. Zhuochuani's conversation was left blank. She had underestimated Zhuochuani. The door opened. A man in a furry leather coat and helmet stood in front of her. Follow me. She could tell that it was Gu Lingqing's voice. She unlocked the security settings and got down from her seat. He held her hand, got into his car and left quickly. Baya looked behind her worriedly. There were a few cars driving over. She made a call. I'm fine. I'm going back to the manor now. Don't worry. Xing Buhua didn't even look at Baya. He looked ahead sharply. Xiaoya, leave the matter of dealing with Zhuochuani to me. From now on, you can stay at home and take care of your baby. I'm fine. I have something to do. Xing Buhua interrupted her and said angrily, I know that there was an explosion in your car. Do you know that my heart is going to explode on the spot? What if you die? I'm better off dead than alive. But you know that I have things that I have to do. Give me half a year. I'll get rid of Zhuochuani and Xing Dongqing. I just hope that you can live well. Haven't we talked about this many times? I want to fight alongside you. Chapter 639. Isn't it because you have a special condition? We'll split the work. You'll do the big things and you'll do the small things. Isn't that good? Baya said gently. What you're doing now is trivial. You are now directly offending Zhuochuani and confronting Zhuochuani head-on. His power and influence are not something you can imagine. How can he still? Xing Buhua paused. He did not finish the word Lingqing. He turned his face away and panted angrily. His chest was heaving violently. But I have so many people protecting me. I'll be fine. Don't be angry. Baya held Xing Buhua's hand. Xing Buhua flung her hand away. It's easier to dodge a spear in the open than an arrow in the dark. If he's bent on killing you, you might be able to dodge it once or twice, but you won't be able to dodge it 100 times. You've seen what his subordinates are capable of. With one slash, your head will be chopped off. You're not alone now. There's even a child. But I'll go crazy if I don't do anything and watch you risk your life outside. I'd rather die with you than live an ignoble life. Baya's eyes were red. In the past, she thought that he was dead and couldn't live on. Every day, her heart ached so much that she couldn't sleep. Even when she did sleep, the time she slept was very short. When she woke up, she felt that there was nothing left to live for. She missed him so much that her heart ached even more. It was painful when she woke up, and it was still painful when she fell asleep. As she slept, she would cry. That feeling, she did not want to experience it again. If I'm going to die, I want to die in front of you. I can't bear to see him die. Promise me, can you? Baya choked and asked. In that instant, it was as though a hammer had smashed into his heart. Trembling violently, he reached out and pressed the back of her neck into his embrace. He knew that if he didn't come out, she would die. He envied Gu Lingqing and his heart ached for her. Even if it was a lie, even if he was a substitute, he still wanted to take good care of her for the rest of her life. He lowered his head and kissed her on the cheek. It was a heavy kiss. He really wanted time to freeze at this moment. Baya hugged him tightly and closed her eyes. He made up his mind. Baya, I'll pursue you as Xing Buhua, okay? Marry me and let me protect you in the open. No. She looked at him anxiously. I've already confronted Zhuochuani head-on. You're in the dark now. If you're not related to me, they won't be afraid of you. At most, they'll think that you look like Gu Lingqing. If you're in contact with me, they'll easily think that you're Gu Lingqing. Baya analyzed rationally. So be it. It doesn't matter. Come at me if you're capable. Ling Qing, a little impatience will spoil great plans. We have to think about our future. So, we can't make any mistakes. Actually, it's good now. Although Zhuchuani hates me, he won't kill me. His current focus is on dealing with Shenyan. Baya tried to persuade him. So, Shenyan is very smart. He'll let you be the target so that he can hide in the back without any worries. How can Zhuchuani not understand? I'll tell Zhuchuani now that I've got the recording of Lady Xing testifying against him. But if I don't send it out, he'll let down his guard against me. Moreover, it's not that easy for him to kill me. On the contrary, if he makes a single mistake, all his efforts will be in vain. Baya tried to persuade Xingbua. Xingbua's eyes were as deep as obsidian. Zhuchuani hired someone to assassinate Ling Qing. He had a guilty conscience. No matter how good Baya's disguise was, he wouldn't let down his guard. He hated Su Jieran and Alan. He always felt that they were eyeing Baya. But for Baya's safety, he had to abandon his jealousy. Her safety was the most important thing to him. Xiaoya, you're fine. They're afraid of you now. One of the reasons is that you're Gu Lingqing's wife. If you can find another boyfriend, they'll let down their guard against you. Xingbuhua said earnestly. I won't find anyone but you. It's fake. It's just to make them let down their guard against you. Xingbuhua held her shoulders. I don't want to lie and hurt other people's feelings just to save my life. Baya refused. Because she had been hurt before, she always remembered not to hurt others, especially those who loved her. I'll arrange it for you. They know that you're pretending, so they won't fall in love with you. You don't have to hurt or lie to other people's feelings. How about this? Besides, with their cover, it'll be easier for us to meet, and we won't be limited to this place. Xingbuhua persuaded her. She didn't have to lie or hurt them. If that was the case, it was fine. But I'm pregnant. Won't it be deliberate to find a boyfriend? Baya was worried. I'll arrange it. After all, you and Gu Lingqing haven't been in public for a long time. It's normal that you don't have a deep relationship. Xingbuhua rubbed Baya's hair. Baya nodded. She was a little tired. Go to sleep. I'll wake you up when we reach the manor, Xingbuhua said softly and put on his helmet. Don't let anyone recognize you. It's very dangerous. Leave after you send me to the manor. Don't come tonight. You'll be very tired too. Too tired. Your brain won't work and your body won't listen to you, Baya said, feeling sorry for him. I'll go back after I send you to the manor. I'll look for you tomorrow when I'm free. I have something to tell them to do when I get back, Xingbuhua replied. He drove the car and returned to the surveillance room. Baya closed her eyes and fell asleep soon. Xingbuhua drove to the manor. The manor's security guard came out immediately. He lowered his voice and ordered, Your wife is asleep. Find a car to send her back. The security guard immediately went to drive the car. Baya was a light sleeper. When she opened her eyes, she saw the manor. She stretched her neck. She only slept for half an hour, but she felt very energetic. I'll go down now, she said to Xingbuhua. Don't stay up late today. You're pregnant. Take care of yourself, Xingbuhua said, feeling sorry for her. Baya nodded. You rest early too. Good night. Okay, Xingbuhua replied. He only drove off after she got into the car. When Baya returned to the empty room, she thought of Lin Shulan's condition. Her heart sank. She called Zhang Xingyu. How's Shulan? The surgery was successful. Her life is not in danger. However, half of her face is badly damaged. I'm worried that she won't be able to take it when she wakes up, Zhang Xingyu said worriedly. Tell her that I'll find the best plastic surgeon for her. I guarantee that she won't be uglier than before. Tell her to be at ease. The most important thing is to stabilize her emotions. Once she's stable, she'll recover easily. Tell her not to worry about me. I'm fine. Tell her to rest well, Baya said. Madam, I suddenly have an idea. I wonder if it's right? Zhang Xingyu said hesitantly. Go ahead. Could Lady Xing be trying to say that President Gu's assassination has something to do with Zhuchuani? Hello everyone, I'm Qin Tangtang. You can follow me on WeChat. Chapter 640. Xing Buhua told her that the assassination was just his plan. She had suspected that Xing Buhua wasn't Gu Lingqing many times in the past, but now she didn't want to doubt it anymore. If Gu Lingqing wasn't him, then where did Gu Lingqing go? She didn't dare to think about it. As a psychologist, she actually had troubles that others didn't have, because she knew human nature too well. She knew that people would subconsciously reject pain. Sometimes, when the truth came out, people would choose to believe the side that they wanted to believe, with their subjective beliefs and biases. She was no exception. Zhang Xingyu, Lingqing is by my side now. I trust him more than anyone else. There are some things that have no basis, so don't let your imagination run wild. It won't help your judgment, and it's easy to get stuck in a dead end. We'll think about the secret that Lady Zheng told us later. The most important thing now is to relieve the trauma, and I don't want to lose any of you because of me, Bai Ye said earnestly. Understood, madam, Zhang Xingyu replied sincerely. Bai Ye hung up the phone. She didn't feel like working today, so she took a shower, laid on the bed and fell asleep. She dreamed of Gu Lingqing. In the dream, he just looked at her deeply and didn't say a word. But her heart hurt, and the pain was deep in her bones. She rushed over and hugged him, but she couldn't hug him. She was very sad, and she knelt on the ground, looking at him, tears flowing out of her eyes. Don't leave me. Don't go. He seemed to be crying too, and his eyes were very moist. He walked towards her reluctantly. She grabbed his clothes. Don't leave me. If you must leave, let's go together. I'm very lonely. She was so sad that she cried out loud. Gu Lingqing still didn't say a word. He stroked her head and sighed. Bai Ye watched as he slowly disappeared in front of her. No! She shouted hysterically. She was so sad that she opened her eyes. Her face was full of tears. In her blur, she saw Gu Lingqing sitting by her bed and looking at her with pity. She impulsively hugged him and said pitifully, I dreamed that you left. Xing Buhua looked at her deeply and comforted her softly, I won't go. This is just a dream. Dreams and reality are opposite. If you really want to leave, you must take me with you, no matter if it's life or death. I don't want to live alone. I don't have a father, I don't have a mother, I only have you. We have children. Bai Ye cried. She didn't know why she was breaking down today. She knew that she had let little Yen down. Ever since little Yen was born, she had never fulfilled her responsibilities as a mother. She used to hate Bai Bing, but at least when she was young, when Bai Bing wanted to leave, she also cut her wrist. She also wanted to take her away. She knew that in the eyes of others, this was a kind of mental behavior. She would be spurned and insulted by others. They scolded that her mother didn't even let go of her own daughter. She didn't understand it before and felt cold in her heart. Now she understood. Bai Bing didn't want her to suffer in this world. She didn't want her to live alone. She was also worried that others would bully her after she died. She had a hard life. Little Yen, she had adoptive parents. Her adoptive parents did better than her. They loved little Yen with all their love. She was really a failure and a coward. She was not as strong as she thought. I'm sorry. Bai Ye choked with sobs. When she was young, she liked a writer named San Mao. San Mao's life was not very lucky. When she was about to marry her boyfriend died. Later, she met He and lived with her husband for a few years. They loved each other very much. Unfortunately, her husband also fell in love when he was very young. Her husband died. She promised her parents that she would live well and take care of them. However, only she knew the lonely and painful days of missing them every day. She wrote a confession. She was sorry to her parents. She broke her promise for the first time and chose to commit suicide. Really, outsiders thought that this woman was so insensible. However, only she knew the insomnia she suffered every day. She couldn't live without Gu Lingqing. She couldn't live without him. Xing Buhua hugged her and sighed. Live well. I'm sorry. She could only say this. She looked at him with tears in her eyes and said intermittently, Gu Lingqing, tell me, you're really Gu Lingqing. Don't lie to me. How could she not think of the things that Zhang Xingyu could think of? This was the most reasonable point. However, she really didn't want to believe it. Xing Buhua looked at her deeply and nodded. If I'm not Gu Lingqing, who am I? He touched her hand and placed it on her face. Feel it. My face hasn't changed. My voice hasn't changed. I had to change my personality. After everything is settled, I'll be Gu Lingqing. Haven't we already done a paternity test? I can get Xiao Yan back and do it again for you. Bai Ye shook her head and hugged him tightly again. She closed her eyes. I believe you. As long as you say it, I'll believe it. Xing Buhua caressed her back. All right, it's almost dawn. You should rest well. Our child still needs to sleep. Bai Ye's eyes were red. She let go of Xing Buhua and lay on the side. She patted the spot beside her. Don't leave tonight. You should rest for a while too. I told you not to come, but you still came. I don't want you to work so hard. Fortunately, I came. Otherwise, what should I do if you cry like this? Xing Buhua said helplessly. I just had a nightmare, Bai Ye explained. Go to sleep. I'll leave after you fall asleep. There's still a lot of things to do today, Xing Buhua said gently. Sigh. Bai Ye sighed. I'm sorry. I've made you worry. Xing Buhua chuckled. It's good that there's someone worth worrying about in my heart. Only then will I have motivation. Bai Ye closed her eyes. Actually, she wanted him to drop everything and leave with her. But she knew that it would be useless even if she said it. It would only be a burden to Gu Lingqing. If Gu Lingqing wanted to drop everything and leave, he would tell her. Tired from crying, she fell asleep in a daze. Xing Buhua covered her with the blanket before getting up and walking towards the secret passage. His phone vibrated. He saw that it was a call from the research team. He picked it up immediately. What's wrong? Mr. Xing, Mr. Gu's heart rhythm is irregular and his blood pressure is low. If he doesn't wake up soon, he might not even be able to stay in a vegetative state. I don't care what methods you use. You must ensure that he stays alive. If he dies, I'll bury all of you with him, Xing Buhua said irrationally. Chapter 641. However, that team is not official and usually doesn't take on orders. They took on the agent because he was the only one who knew the password and the president was there. They might not take on Mr. Gu. No matter how much money it takes, get them to take it. If it doesn't work, kidnap all the people in their research team, Xing Buhua ordered domineeringly. The key is that we don't know where they are or where we can find their contact. It's a very secretive organization. The other party was in a difficult position. Then go find them. Isn't there the president? The president should know. No matter what method you use, find it for me. Xing Buhua ordered. The next day, Lu Shuang woke up and saw that Xin Yan was no longer by his side. He didn't wake her up. She sat on the bed in a daze for a while. It was almost the new year, but Xin Yan was even busier. Many things had happened around her recently. The resignation of the finance minister, the death of the education minister, and finally finding out that the person who assassinated her was the invisible Colonel Tang. But Colonel Tang had committed suicide yesterday. Was it because many things happened around the president, or was Xin Yan unlucky this year? Her mood was also heavy, and she was unspeakably unhappy and depressed. She got up from the bed and went into the bathroom to brush her teeth. When she went downstairs, she heard Nan Gongyu say to Hua Zixing, "Madam, for the sake of the president, you should tell him." "I believe he knows what he's doing," Hua Zixing said gently. "Many men are arrogant. Do you want him to walk the same path as the former French president?" Nan Gongyu was worried. "I don't allow you to talk nonsense. Yan has enough things to deal with now. I don't want him to be upset. Besides, that's the president of another country. He can't represent Xinyan." Hua Zixing was angry. Rome wasn't built in a day. Although Mr. President is not the former president of France, this is a warning. When he is in his position, he is fine, but if he steps down from his position, he will be dead. How can a president get divorced in 2007 and get married in 2008 when he is in office? Shut up, I won't allow you to say any more. If you still want to sow discord, go back to country M. Don't follow me anymore. Hua Zixing turned around and glared at Nan Gongyu when she saw Lu Shuang. Nan Gongyu nodded. I'll go pick some flowers for Madam. As she spoke, she walked out the door. Big sister, I'll get someone to prepare breakfast for you now. Hua Zixing smiled and gave a look to the servant beside her. Lu Shuang nodded and looked around. Where's Shenyan? Something happened to Invisible. He went there personally. He might come back very late today. You slept late last night, so he didn't wake you up. I'm going to the temple to pray later. Do you want to come with me? Hua Zixing asked kindly. Lu Shuang thought for a moment and shook his head. It would be too ostentatious for her to follow Hua Zixing out. She might as well go to the temple on her own, it would be less eye-catching. All right, I won't be back too early tonight. If you're hungry, you can eat first, Hua Zixing said. Lu Shuang nodded again. Then I'll have breakfast first. I'm a little hungry. Lu Shuang sat at the dining table and the servants served breakfast. Hua Zixing's eyes dimmed as she went up to the third floor. Nan Gongyu appeared and asked confusedly, why do I feel that she doesn't care at all? Did she not hear what we said? Hua Zixing was also surprised and frowned in deep thought. Won't she marry the president? Nan Gongyu guessed. Shen Yan has always wanted to marry her. At most, he'll wait until the 4-year agreement is up. Then he'll divorce me and marry her. He won't wait any longer. Hua Zixing took a deep breath. I suspect that she doesn't understand what we're talking about. Nan Gongyu was stunned. Or rather, she didn't listen on purpose. Even if she did, she didn't think about it on purpose, Hua Zixing said. Is she that innocent? Nan Gongyu was curious. A woman like her wouldn't survive past the first episode in a palace drama. Hua Zixing was also a little sad. Maybe that's what Shen Yan likes about her. Nan Gongyu sneered. There are a lot of people like that in kindergartens and elementary schools. He's not worthy of your love. Xiao Yu, help me think of a way. I can't chase Lu Shuang away myself. Shen Yan will blame me. You can't deal with her directly either. Shen Yan will also vent his anger on me. The best way is to let her leave on her own, Hua Zixing said gently with a hint of coquettishness. Nan Gongyu rubbed Hua Zixing's head and said helplessly and dotingly, the best way is not to let her leave on her own. Even if she leaves, Shen Yan will still think of her and find her. Based on my understanding of men, Shen Yan will love her more. The best way is to let her be hated by Shen Yan. Hua Zixing's hope was ignited. How can we let her be hated by Shen Yan? Nan Gongyu's lips twitched. Jealous, capricious, arrogant, frivolous, petty, naggy, suspicious, extreme, princess syndrome. Hua Zixing suddenly understood why Lu Shuang was so attracted to Shen Yan. She wasn't particularly stunning, nor was she outstanding. But coincidentally, she didn't have any of the traits that men hated. From what I know, she's straightforward and carefree. She doesn't think too much, so she's heartless. Nan Gongyu looked at Hua Zixing confidently. Don't be anxious. There's still 1.5 years before the contract expires. There'll be plenty of opportunities. If she doesn't have it, we'll think of a way to let her have it. What do you mean? Hua Zixing looked at Nan Gongyu in confusion. Just leave it to me. The less you know about these things, the more you can brush them off. I'll take care of everything. Okay. Hua Zixing nodded obediently. While Lu Shuang was having breakfast, Hua Zixing and Nan Gongyu went out in a mighty manner. She browsed through her phone and saw the news about the former president of France. The gist of it was that in order to become the president, this president had accepted money from the Libyan leader as campaign expenses. After becoming the president, he got divorced and married while he was in office. He was the first person who didn't continue to be the president. She took a sip of milk. So it was really like what Shen Yan had said. If he didn't become the president, many people would suffer. The best outcome for him was to be imprisoned for the rest of his life. In the past, she didn't understand why Shen Yan said that he loved her. But since he married Hua Zixing, she didn't think that it was love. On second thought, Shen Yan wasn't an ordinary person. His father was the president and he had a lot on his shoulders since he was young. If he didn't become the president, his family would suffer. Even if he became the president, his father would also suffer. He chose to commit suicide under his interrogation. Perhaps a commoner like her wouldn't be able to understand such boldness. So, Shenyan might really like her. She heard Nangong Yu egging Hua Zixing on just now. But Hua Zixing scolded Nangong Yu angrily. Chapter 642. If there was something between Shenyan and Hua Zixing would hate her very much instead of protecting her. Moreover, Colonel Tang committed suicide. She had planned to leave after the murderer who killed her mother was found and brought to justice. However, if it wasn't for Shenyan, Colonel Tang wouldn't have been exposed so quickly. In the end, it was Shenyan who helped her. He was so good to her. If she left, it wouldn't be nice. Why don't I stay? Lu Shuang drank the milk in the cup and his phone rang. He saw that it was Shenyan's call and picked it up. Are you awake? Shenyan asked with a smile. Nonsense. How can I answer your call if I don't get up? What's the matter? Just say it. I'm busy, Lu Shuang said. He took the dog food and was about to feed the puppies. I'm going to buy Ya's place for lunch today. Do you want to come? Shenyan asked. Lu Shuang paused. She was actually touched that Baya had sent people to protect her. Yesterday, when she saw the thin and strong Baya who wanted to talk to her but didn't dare to talk to her, she was a little touched and felt a little bitter. She was such a friend who had walked into her heart. Do you think I should go? Lu Shuang asked Shenyan. Let me ask you. If Baya knew that your mother would die, would he tell me where you went? Shenyan asked. Of course not, Lu Shuang said with certainty. You should know how much effort Baya put in to escape. I also know that you are going to leave. The day before you left, I went to find Baya and asked her to tell me your address. Do you know what Baya asked for? Shenyan asked again. How would I know? Be more direct, Lu Shuang said bluntly. He didn't allow me to disturb your normal life when I haven't finished my business. If there is any danger, she will arrange for you to evacuate immediately. She's just worried that you'll lose your true love. Perhaps it had something to do with her experience. She knew how important it was for a child to have a mother and father together. She wanted us to be together, so she took a gamble. After your mother's accident, she came to question me like a madwoman. I can tell that she truly cares about you, Shenyan said. So you want me to reconcile with her? Lu Shuang understood what Shenyan meant. Shenyan smiled. Back then, you were willing to stay by the side of someone you don't love because of her. It shows how high a position she holds in your heart. She is a rational, reasonable, and wise person. With her to chat with, it won't be easy for you to get into a dead end. I'm more at ease. Lu Shuang's eyes turned red. I'm a little annoyed with her. She's my best friend, someone I value more than anyone else. So, you've forgiven me but not her. At the end of the day, your mother's death is related to me. You're willing to stay by my side but don't want to talk to her because you care about her too much. Since you care about her, don't treat her like a stranger, Shenyan said reasonably. That's right. It's all because of you that my mother died. I shouldn't have talked to you. If you didn't remind me, I would have forgotten about it. Lu Shuang said whatever was on his mind. Shenyan paused. Shuang, let me give you an example. There's a treasure that many people want, and many of them died because of it. You can't hate the treasure because of that, right? It's not the same. It's not the same. I don't want the treasure, I just want to stay away from it. You were the one who wanted to suck me into the treasure. My mother was killed to save me. Yes, you are the main culprit. Lu Shuang came back to her senses. Shenyan was so nervous that she felt a chill down her spine. Where are you now? Lu Shuang hung up the phone and threw it on the bed. His mind was a little blank. In the past, she didn't know what she wanted. She lived her life in a daze. Now, she still didn't know what she wanted. She fed the puppy dog food and squatted on the floor to watch it eat. Her phone rang again. She guessed that it was still Shenyan. She didn't want to pick it up. If she was with Shenyan, would her mother blame her? She didn't know that Shenyan had liked her for a long time. If she had known, she might not have run away. If she didn't run away, her mother might not have died. So, if she thought about it, she was also the culprit who killed her mother. So annoying. She decided to go for a walk and walked to the lake. The sun was shining brightly that day, and it felt warm on her body. She lay down on the bench and stared at the lake under the sunlight. The ripples were sparkling, and it was very beautiful. She didn't think of anything in her mind, and lazily closed her eyes. It didn't take long before she really fell asleep. After some time, she opened her eyes. She was woken up by the roar of the plane. Looking at the sky, she wondered if Shen Yan was back. What a nuisance. So what if she had a plane? She sat up and rubbed her tummy. She wanted to eat something. She remembered that she would always buy a lot of delicious food during the new year. Candied fruits, melon seeds, pine nuts, pistachios, beef jerky, tofu jerky, chicken feet, chocolate, candy, potato chips, sausages, dried vegetables and peanuts. Eating snacks while curling up on the sofa to watch television was the best. The chef at Shen Yan's place was really good. There were a lot of fruits, but there weren't many snacks. She decided to go out and buy some. She had just returned to her room and picked up her bag when the door was kicked open. Shen Yan's eyes were bloodshot as he looked at her with a steely expression. He questioned her in a displeased tone. "Where did you go earlier on? Where are you going now?" She didn't like his tone at all. It was as though he was angry at her. She didn't do anything wrong. "Are you crazy? I'm not your subordinate and I'm not getting paid by you. I don't have to report to you," Lu Shuang retorted. Shen Yan grabbed her arm. His eyes were filled with fear. I won't allow you to go out. You're not my subordinate, but you're my woman." "Do I not have freedom to be your woman? Then I don't want to be your woman anymore." Lu Shuang flung his hand away. He gripped it tightly. She couldn't fling it away. Frustrated, she grabbed his arm and bit it. He looked at her silently. No matter how much she bit, he wouldn't let go. Lu Shuang tasted the blood and came back to her senses. Her heart was aching as she looked at him in confusion. "Doesn't it hurt? You're going to leave soon. This little bit of pain is nothing." Shen Yan looked at him with a burning gaze. His eyes were even redder with a flash of pain. His brows were tightly knitted, but he was also determined that he would never let go. Lu Shuang guessed that he might have misunderstood. "I'm just going out to buy something. It's not like I'm not coming back. Why did you go crazy when you came back? If you want to buy anything, you can ask the servants in the villa. Or you can ask Colonel Chung to buy it for you. You have his phone number. Why didn't you pick up the phone? I asked someone to look for you in your room. You left your phone on the bed, but you're gone." Shen Yan locked his eyes on her and questioned her. He was really afraid of her running away. He didn't want to be unable to find her like last time. If he couldn't find her again, he might really go crazy. "Hello, everyone. I'm Qin Tang Tang. You can follow me on WeChat." Chapter 643. I just left my phone on the bed and went out for a walk. The sun was nice today, so I took a nap on the chair. Don't be so paranoid. It's okay to be paranoid. Don't lose your temper with me. I didn't do anything wrong, Lu Shuang explained. He pulled her into his arms and hugged her tightly for a while. Lu Shuang's anger came and went quickly. He was no longer angry. "You can't not answer the phone in the future," Shen Yan said. "What if you don't answer the phone when I call you?" Lu Shuang asked. "Then you can still lose your temper with me," he said dotingly. D***n, do you have to lose your temper over such a small thing? If you don't answer my call and you lose your temper, then I don't want to live anymore. He actually wanted to lose his temper with her. At least it meant that he cared about her. She was sometimes too carefree and open-minded. Lu Shuang didn't know what Shen Yan was thinking. He continued, "How about this? If you call me and I don't call you back within 2 hours, you can call me again. If I don't call you back within 2 hours, don't doubt that my phone is definitely not with me. I know what to do. I'll just install the tracking device in your teeth like Lady Zeng did. Don't hide in a corner and sleep when I'm looking for you," Shen Yan said helplessly. Lu Shuang thought what he said was true. She was scared when she thought of the bomb in Lady Zeng's teeth. "Is it necessary? If I like you, I won't leave even if you chase me away. If I don't like you, you can't keep my heart even if you keep me. If my heart is not with you, you'll have to stay for the rest of your life. You'll be in trouble and I'll be in trouble too. Let's just let each other go." Lu Shuang turned around. Shen Yan hugged her and pulled her into her arms. She hugged her tighter and looked at her helplessly and nervously. Do you like me? Lu Shuang thought for a moment. I think I said it before. I want to hear it now. I want to hear it from your heart. Shenyan looked at her with a burning gaze. Lu Shuang took a deep breath. You must have fallen in love with her, right? Shenyan was pleasantly surprised. She smiled and asked again as if she had misheard, what? Lu Shuang looked at his smiling eyes. This man was really good-looking when he smiled. It was as if the sun and moon had lost their brilliance. If I didn't like you, I probably wouldn't want to give birth to another child for you. Since I'm willing to give birth to a child for you, I think I like you. Shenyan was happy and kissed her face. Lu Shuang smiled and kissed him back. He kissed her on the lips and she kissed him back. He kissed her lips again. When she wanted to move away, he pressed the back of her head and deepened the kiss. Lu Shuang also closed his eyes and responded. She quite liked his kiss. It was very comfortable, sticky and a little ticklish. But she still liked it. It could speed up her heartbeat and increase her adrenaline level. It was pleasurable. Before she knew it, she was already on the bed. Her body turned cold. She realized what he was going to do and pushed his chest. Aren't you tired? You slept so late last night and woke up so early today. This bit of stamina is nothing. Help me out. I've been under a lot of pressure recently, Shenyan said in a low voice. His voice was a little hoarse. You're doing that with me because I'm under a lot of pressure? She didn't like the way he said it. When I'm under a lot of pressure, I want to be with the person I like and forget about those unhappy things. At least it gives me the motivation to fight for our future, Shenyan said softly. Her heart was also soft and wet when she said that. Although she used to say that she didn't care how rich, powerful or handsome a man was, as long as he was good enough. In fact, she didn't care how rich, powerful or handsome a man was. She only cared about a man's sincerity. Just as she was letting her imagination run wild, Shenyan lifted her ankle and entered her. Damn, Shenyan, you're such a hooligan. Lu Shuang clenched his fists. He kissed her ankle and said tenderly, only for you. A surge of emotions flowed in her heart, giving rise to a sweet feeling. She also wanted to do something for him. After all, she had admitted that she liked him. She hugged his waist and sat up, facing him. Her face was as pretty as a peach blossom. Is this okay? Shenyan smiled. Okay. Half an hour later, Shenyan lay on the bed to rest. She used his arm as a pillow and thought about something. What are you thinking about? Shenyan asked. Lu Shuang looked at her. I suddenly thought through some things. Shenyan propped her head and looked at her with infatuation. Shenyan, if you die, will you want me to find another man and live a happy life? Lu Shuang asked. Shenyan's face instantly darkened and she frowned. You didn't have enough fun just now, did you? I mean if you die. Lu Shuang reminded her. Shenyan bit her lip. I'll take you with me even if I die. Lu Shuang covered her mouth and looked at him in confusion. Shouldn't it be because you love me so you want me to live a better life? After you die, you are afraid that no one will take care of me, so you hope that a better man will appear, love me and tolerate me? I'm afraid that you will be bullied by other men, so I'd better live well, in case you have no one to take care of you, Shenyan said helplessly. Having said that, he calmed down. He could guess what Lu Shuang was thinking, so he continued, as parents, their greatest wish is for their children's happiness. As a husband, he definitely won't want his wife to find another man. What if you die? Lu Shuang asked again. Shenyan knocked her head. If I die, I'll leave you a lot of money, so that you can find 100 servants to serve you and make sure that you don't have to worry about food and clothing. Is that okay? Lu Shuang thought for a moment and nodded. So I've decided to forgive Bai Ye. If I don't forgive her, I'll be letting myself down. I don't have a mother anymore, so I can't let myself down. When will you go to Bai Ye's place this afternoon? Shenyan looked at her bright and beautiful face and raised a smile. He liked to see her happy face. Seeing her happy would make his mood better. He looked at the time on his watch. We should leave now. Let's go. Lu Shuang kicked the quilt away and got up from the bed. Shenyan was helpless. How could he fall in love with a tough woman? Shuang, go to Bai Ye's house and take off the bracelet. I can't. Lu Shuang refused. Shen Yan frowned and looked at her. What's wrong now? He sighed helplessly. For someone like him, who was always scheming and never showed his feelings, his mood changed several times a day when he was with Lu Shuang. The manor had 3 floors inside and 3 floors outside, surrounded by soldiers in different uniforms. They looked serious and solemn, but there was a sense of tension. Are these people Gu Lingqing's men? Or the Shadow's men? Lu Shuang asked in confusion. More than that. Shen Yan said seriously. After the car was checked, it drove in. Lu Shuang looked at the back of the car and saw that there was a circle of people outside the manor. Are we not the only ones who came here for dinner today? Lu Shuang asked suspiciously. Xing Dongqing, Leng Shuang, Su Zheng, Zuochuani, Xing Shang, and Xing Buhua. Shen Yan said thoughtfully. Xing Buhua? Is he the one who looks like Gu Lingqing? Are they twins? Lu Shuang guessed. I don't think so. Song Shiu only had one child, not twins. When we go in, there are some things to deal with. I'll give you and buy you some private time later. Be good, Shen Yan said. Lu Shuang nodded. She didn't understand what they were talking about, so she had to be good. The car stopped in front of the villa. Bai Ye's security opened the car door. Shen Yan got out of the car. Lu Shuang and Colonel Cheng immediately followed and entered the house. Lu Shuang saw many people. There were guards in every corner of the house, but they were all wearing the same clothes. So, they belonged to the same group of people. They might be Bai Ye's men. The atmosphere inside was extremely strange. No one spoke and their faces were tense. Even Bai Ye was cold, expressionless, and indifferent. Bai Ye saw Shen Yan. Her eyes moved to Lu Shuang's face subconsciously, and then moved away. She nodded at Shen Yan. You've worked hard. Something happened, so I'm a little late. I'm sorry, Shen Yan said in a distant and businesslike manner. Tell me about this matter. What exactly happened? Right now, the outside world is very strange about the death of the Minister of Education and his wife, Su Zheng said in a strange tone. His tone carried a tone of questioning, solemn and contemptuous. Bai Ye looked at Su Zheng slowly. Minister Zheng died suddenly. The cause of his death has been leaked on the internet. Leng Qiuzuan and I think that Minister Zheng might have known some unspeakable secrets, so he was assassinated. Since you took Lady Zheng away, what did she say before she died? Su Zheng interrogated. Everyone's eyes were on Bai Ye's face. Bai Ye looked at Zuochuani and just looked at him. Zuochuani glared at Bai Ye. His eyes were filled with murderous intent, but there was also a hint of warning in them. Bai Ye's lips curled up and she replied calmly, She did say something, but because there's no evidence, I'll only make people more suspicious if I say it. There's no need for me to say it. What did she say? Su Zheng asked sternly. Zuochuani frowned, and he was a little annoyed. He said, Deputy Chief Su, Bai Ye is not a criminal. She's just helping us with our investigation. Since she didn't say it, she must have her reasons. I believe that Madame Gu will say it when she wants to, right? Zuochuani looked at Bai Ye. Bai Ye sat down on the chair, and his fingers tapped on the table rhythmically. In fact, I don't think there's a need to say it. First, even if I say it, no one will believe me. Instead, they'll think that I'm trying to stir up trouble. Second, I'm not sure if what Lady Zheng said is true or not. Third, I'm not a politician. Just like what Deputy Chief Su said, I'm just helping with the investigation. Since you're here today, I don't have much to entertain you. Let's eat first, and we can talk during the meal. What do you think? Everyone stopped talking, and they looked at the highest commander, Shen Yan. Thank you for your hospitality, Madame Gu, Shen Yan said formally, and he sat down first. Lu Shuang stood still, and he saw that there were people sitting on both sides of Shen Yan. One was Su Zheng, and the other was Zuochuani. The people sitting at Bai Ye's table had special seats, and the assistant was not qualified, so he sat down at the table next to him. Chapter 645. Baya looked at Su Zheng and met Su Zheng's gaze. Her lips curled into a provocative and mocking smile, and her fingers tapped on the table gracefully. Su Zheng was a little angry when he saw Baya's behavior. This woman came to his house for a meal as Su Jiran's wife 5 years ago. At that time, she was a yes man, and he could easily crush her to death. He did not expect that she would turn into someone that even he had to be wary of. He felt very uncomfortable. Is this case going to be left unsolved? Aren't you here to assist in the investigation? Su Zheng asked Baya. Baya smiled and said calmly, "First of all, I'm here to assist in the investigation. I'm not the main investigator. As for whether this case will be left unsolved, it's not up to me, but up to the police, right?" "But Lady Zheng died in your car," Su Zheng said unhappily. "The forensics team should have the report. Someone planted a bomb in Lady Zheng's teeth. The time of the explosion depends on the mastermind." Baya became serious and sharp. She continued, "As for my woman, she's still lying in the hospital. She was injured because I helped you guys." As a girl, half of her face was destroyed. "What else do you want to know, Deputy Chief Su?" "I think you should tell us what Lady Zheng said, so that the police can have a direction to investigate. After all, you're the last person who came into contact with the victim. You have the obligation to tell us," Su Zheng said persistently. "What if I don't tell you?" Baya provoked. Su Zheng slammed the table and stood up. He said sternly, "Then I have reason to suspect that you're the murderer." Baya sighed. "Since you want to know so much, I'll contact the police tomorrow and tell them what I know. Deputy Chief Su, I feel much better now." Su Zheng sat back down and snorted. Baya glanced at Zhuchuani's face. His complexion was very bad. One moment it was green, the next moment it was white. Leng Shuai couldn't help but want to give his wife a thumbs up. He was also curious as to why Madame had agreed to everyone's visit and even wanted to treat these political figures to a meal. This was not in line with Madame's cold and distant personality. She really didn't like these people. Now he understood. What Lady Zheng said was what Zhuchuani was afraid of. Moreover, Su Zheng kept forcing Madame to tell him what she knew. Naturally, Zhuchuani hated Su Zheng. When the two sides fought, there would definitely be losses, and Madame would be the fisherman who would devise strategies behind the scenes. Also, after Su Zheng's incident and Baya's foreshadowing, Zhuchuani understood that no matter what Baya said, whether it was true or not, it could cause a powerful upheaval. This made Zhuchuani anxious. When there was no one around today, he would contact Madame to discuss the conditions. Madame's move was really great. He watched it very excitedly. However, no matter how exciting it was, he couldn't learn it. It required too much brain power. The chefs brought the dishes up and stood neatly behind Baya. Zhuchuani gave his assistant a look, and the assistant nodded. This detail was captured by the sharp Xingbua. He was about to remind Baya when he heard Baya ask, "Have you tested these dishes before serving? Are there any poisons?" The chef reported respectfully, "Yes, there's no poison. All the people here today are political figures. If there's any mistake, I won't be able to get away with it. Before serving, try it again in front of them," Baya ordered. "Yes," the chef replied. Lu Shuang watched as those people used serving chopsticks to test each person's dishes. Baya was very indifferent. Her gaze fell on Zhuchuani's pale face, and the corners of her mouth curled up slightly. Zhuchuani's assistant also looked at Zhuchuani and sent a message to him, asking, "Do you still want to poison the dishes?" Zhuchuani saw the assistant's message, and his hands were trembling. He replied, "No need for now, this woman is more cunning than a fox." Xingbua curled up the corner of his mouth, and his gaze fell on Baya's face with admiration. She called everyone together, and he guessed that there would be a good show to watch. The woman he liked was indeed extraordinary. Lu Shuang stole a glance at Xingbua. Damn, this man was really the same as Gu Lingqing. However, Gu Lingqing would definitely not laugh like this. Even if it was funny, he would still be serious, very cold, and could change the atmosphere in an instant. But this man's character was much livelier than Gu Lingqing's, and he looked much more romantic, and it was easy to make people calm down. He should be the type of man who had many girlfriends. Shen Yan glanced over, and happened to see the way Lu Shuang was staring at Xing Buhua. His face was a little green, and he cleared his throat. Lu Shuang was immersed in his own thoughts, and did not hear anything at all. He supported his face and thought that if Gu Lingqing died, this Xing Buhua should have the cold and handsome face of Gu Lingqing, and Baiya should be easily moved. But he always felt that Xing Buhua was not as good a match for Bai as Gu Lingqing. Xing Buhua made her feel a little dangerous, and he was a little like Su Jiaran. At first glance, he looked very charming, and when he smiled, he could turn the world upside down. Unfortunately, he was a womanizer. Baiya's life was really bad. She finally got rid of the big devil, Su Jiaran, and found Gu Lingqing, who doted on her, loved her, and regarded her as more important than her own life. She did not expect that she would die again. If Xing Buhua was not reliable, Baiya would probably not be able to live. In this life, before she met Gu Lingqing, she had been living a very hard life. After she met Gu Lingqing, her life was even more bitter. When would the bitterness be over and the sweetness would come? When Shenyan saw that Lu Shuang had been staring at Gu Lingqing without blinking, his face darkened. He sent a message to Lu Shuang, "What are you looking at?" When Lu Shuang heard his phone ring, he saw that it was a message from Shenyan. He replied, "Nothing. I'm waiting for dinner." Shenyan looked at her message and replied, "Between Xing Buhua and me, who's prettier? What are men better looking? Childish. However, to be honest, I'm just expressing my personal opinion. Xing Buhua is more masculine, and his face is also three-dimensional. He looks very manly. You are the type that many women like. You are too flirtatious. Although your face is pleasing to the eye, but it's quite different." When Lu Shuang sent the message over, Shen Yan glared at Lu Shuang and wanted to pick her up and spank her. No, he couldn't bear to spank her. He could only push her down first. Lu Shuang didn't know that he was being glared at. He lowered his head and didn't know what he was doing. "So are you one of the many women or one of the different women?" Shen Yan sent another message to ask. When Lu Shuang saw Shen Yan's message, he chuckled and stole a glance at Shen Yan. He didn't look at her. He was facing his high officials with a serious face. She didn't reply. Shen Yan looked at her phone every 10 seconds. She sighed helplessly and sent another message. "Why aren't you replying?" Lu Shuang replied quickly, "Are you being jealous again?" Chapter 646. Lu Shuang smiled when he saw the words that Shen Yan had sent. She felt like she was in love, a feeling that no one had ever given her before. Her heart was filled with sweetness. She replied, "Of course it's not the usual way. Otherwise, why would I stay by your side? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, okay?" Shen Yan was finally satisfied. She smiled and replied, "I'll reward you when we get back." Baiya saw his expression and didn't look at Lu Shuang anymore, afraid that someone would make groundless accusations. Zhuchuani already knew that Shen Yan had an illegitimate child. It wasn't difficult to know that the illegitimate child was Lu Shuang, but he probably already knew about it and was now setting up a trap. The chef had already tasted the dishes and confirmed that there was no poison in front of everyone before sending them out. Dinner was served. "I heard that Mrs. Gu has invested in an app. I heard that you specialize in targeting the government," Sheng Dongqing said indifferently, as if he didn't mean it. The officials looked at each other. This was the main reason why they were here today. Baiya replied calmly, "Why would I target the government? I'm only targeting some illegal phenomena, and some of these phenomena happen to some people in the government. These officials are the pillars of the country. If something serious happens to them, the country will be in serious trouble too. I just feel that there needs to be a platform for the officials to understand the people's lives. Isn't this what the officials have been looking for? Understanding the people's suffering can help us solve the problem better. But I heard that you injured him maliciously and used the power of public opinion. This time, Minister Zheng's case is related to you." Sheng Dongqing tried his best to suppress her. Baiya laughed. "Rumors stop with the wise. As for whether I injured him maliciously or not, I believe that everyone here knows very well that I have evidence for every incident. Otherwise, I wouldn't be preparing to arrest Minister Zheng. I'd like to ask Minister Sheng, what do you think I did wrong? I think you're already a regent with the identity of a commoner. You're even more despicable than those terrorist organizations. You're an internal threat, Xing Dongqing said in disgust. Internal hidden dangers? Hee, Minister Sheng, you are really funny. According to what you said, I am regent when I set up a website for everyone to speak freely. If you become the president one day, then the people will not be able to speak freely. I'm really glad that I don't live under a leader who only dares to be angry but doesn't dare to speak up. Baiya had already pointed out something. Sheng Dongqing's face turned pale. He had originally asked this question to win over the officials' hearts. However, Baiya's words had caused him to lose the support of the people. He said angrily, "You're just twisting words and forcing logic. It's a pity that you're not a lawyer with such good eloquence." It's not that I'm eloquent, it's just that I speak from a reasonable point of view. Naturally, my words flow smoothly. I don't need to think about logical problems because I'm just stating the facts. Baiya put down his chopsticks and his expression became serious. I know that everyone has a lot of opinions about the website I set up. Some people are even very uneasy. For example, people like Minister Zheng who have done bad things and are afraid of being found out. Baiya paused and swept his gaze across everyone's faces. Most of them lowered their heads and did not speak. Baiya continued, "I'm just one of the commoners. What I hope is that the rulers can be fair and strict. I don't think I'm wrong, and I don't think there's anything wrong with my website. I think the purpose of the Discipline Inspection Department is to supervise the officials so that the officials can better serve the country. Isn't my website the same? I feel that the best way to supervise the officials is to have the boss's surname. And I just happen to provide such a good platform, don't I?" Clap, clap, clap. Shen Yan applauded. Everyone looked at him, and the atmosphere was very strange. Lu Shuang saw that Shen Yan was applauding. Of course, he had to cooperate, so he quickly applauded and even nudged the two people beside him. Those two people saw that they were the president's assistants, so they could not help but applaud. Therefore, Zhuochuani's assistant and Xing Dongqing's assistant also applauded. Zhuochuani and Xing Dongqing's faces turned ashen. Shen Yan saw it from the corner of his eyes and smiled. If he did not smile again, he would suffer internal injuries. His woman was too awesome. After Shen Yan finished laughing, he said to Baiya seriously, "I think what you said is very well. The country does need a platform to allow all the officials to be supervised by the people. Now, with the development of the internet, new methods are being developed. I feel that the country can follow the example of the ancients and enlist you. You can manage this platform, then connect with the cabinet, respond to problems, and sound the alarm for some officials. The supervision of the officials has always been the responsibility of the Discipline Inspection Department. I think this can be classified as my department," Su Jing said. "If it is classified as the government department, won't the officials still protect each other?" Baiya said directly. "Nonsense. Are you saying that the Discipline Inspection Department is not doing a good job?" Su Jing was angry. "What I mean is that you are the supervision of the government department, and I am the supervision of the people. It is not appropriate to classify me as your department. How about this? If I find a problem, I will report it in time. Is that okay?" Baiya said. "I will reserve a position for you in the cabinet. If you find a problem, it will sound the alarm for the wives of the officials, so that some officials can control their behavior. Punishment is not the goal, but the goal is to manage the country better. What do you think?" Shen Yan said. As soon as he said that, some people's faces became even uglier. They were originally here to question Baiya, but in the end, they promoted Baiya to the cabinet and gave her real power. However, because of the high-sounding reasons, those who opposed it were guilty. No one dared to oppose it. They looked at each other. "We will have a meeting at 2 in the afternoon to finalize this matter. Let's eat first," Shen Yan said. In this place, he was the highest decision-maker, and no one dared to oppose him. They couldn't even digest the meal. The first person to suggest leaving was Xing Shang, who had been silent all this time. "I have something to do at home, so I will leave first." Xing Shang said to Bai Ye politely but alienated. He nodded to the others and left with Xing Buhua. As soon as they got in the car, Xing Shang warned Xing Buhua, "This woman is not simple. You better not contact her and keep a distance. Otherwise, she will easily find out that you are not Gu Lingqing. At that time, it will not be easy for us to make use of Gu Lingqing's manpower." Chapter 647. Yes, Xing Buhua replied. His eyes were so deep that no one could understand what he was thinking. Xing Shang was slightly worried and reminded him, "Remember, Gu Lingqing must not stay. Otherwise, he will be a stumbling block for us. I know you can't bear to let him die because he is your brother, but he was shot and won't live long. Don't be impulsive." "I know what to do," Xing Buhua said firmly. "It's good that you know. Don't forget our grand goal." Xing Shang looked at Xing Buhua meaningfully and said, "There are many good women in the world. She is indeed excellent, but she is not the only excellent one. You haven't slept with her yet, have you?" Xing Buhua shook his head and said, "Not yet." "Don't sleep. Otherwise, you will soon be unable to tell whether she is your woman or your brother's woman. And she is too smart. She will soon find out that you are not Gu Lingqing. The former president was also brought down by her, right? At that time, when she knows that you killed Gu Lingqing, she will not let you go." Xing Shang said seriously. He said slowly. Xing Buhua nodded and looked out of the window. He pursed his lips and twirled his thumbs. This was what he would do when he was very upset. As soon as Xing Shang left, the others also left one after another. In the end, only Leng Shuai, Shenyan, and Lu Shuang were left. Shenyan knew that Leng Shuai was Bai Ye's man. There was no need to hide some things from Leng Shuai, even if he forced Bai Ye to discuss with Leng Shuai. "What are you going to say when you contact the police tomorrow?" Shenyan asked directly. Bai Ye put his index finger on his lips, motioned Shenyan not to speak, and looked at Leng Shuai. Leng Shao nodded and walked out. After a while, a guard came over with a metal box. Soon, he detected the monitor under the chair in the living room. Lu Shuang suddenly realized that Bai Ye was cautious and considered everything. In just one hall, there were already 6 surveillance cameras installed. This was really amazing. Professional anti-wiretapping personnel came over and dismantled all the wiretaps. "Leng Shuai, check my monitor to see if anyone has tampered with it," Bai Ye ordered. Leng Shuai took down the monitor that Bai Ye had installed himself. "Take him to check the surveillance cameras in all the rooms and make sure there are no problems," Bai Ye said cautiously. "Okay." Leng Shuai took his men. Under Zhang Xingyu's arrangement, and Ying's men in her room disappeared again, and the room returned to its former tranquility. "Shenyan, come with me," Bai Ye said and went to the underground library to check today's video. "Zhang," Bai Ye said. Bai Yin looked at Zhang. "Shuai." Bai Zhang, Bai Ye narrowed his eyes. "It's him." "You know him?" Shenyan asked curiously. "He's the one who killed Minister Zeng. Have you forgotten that I have the third eye?" "Even if they destroyed the monitor, I've already ordered people to keep an eye on this area." "Did you kill Minister Zeng on purpose?" Shenyan asked. "Of course not. I didn't ask people to keep an eye on it 24/7. Even if I did, I wouldn't be able to stop him if he wanted to kill someone. All I could do was retrieve the information and organize it. After all, the third eye has to process a lot of information," Bai Ye explained. "Now, have you found out who he is?" Shenyan stared at the screen and asked. "I've retrieved all the monitors of this person. I've also retrieved all the monitors of Minister Zeng before the incident. His name is Liu Bowie, 35 years old, Chinese-American, Special Forces soldier, born with great strength, participated in the war in Afghanistan, and his whereabouts are unknown after he was discharged from the army. The place where he usually lives is very secluded. On the morning of Minister Zhang's death, he also appeared in this place, but it's strange that Zhuochuani didn't go there. I suspect that there might be a secret passage under Zhuochuani's house. He might have disguised himself or left in an ordinary car, so I can't find any information about him for now," Bai Ye explained. Baya, look, there's another person climbing in through your window, Lu Shuang said, pointing at the screen. Baya paused and turned to look at Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang was no longer as cold to her as before. She had a completely different attitude. She was a little excited, expectant, and pleading. That was because Baya was usually a very cold person, but her eyes were a little lovely. Lu Shuang's heart suddenly ached. She had always been a very straightforward person. I forgive you, she said directly, without any foreshadowing. Baya smiled. This was the only thing that made her happy today. She hugged Lu Shuang and pressed the back of his head. Her eyes were a little wet, and she choked with sobs. I'm sorry. Lu Shuang patted Baya's back. I know you're good to me. Let's not talk about the past. My mother's spirit in heaven must also want us to reconcile. I'll take care of you from now on, Baya promised. Xinyan had seen them hugging for a long time. If Baya was a man, he would definitely ask Baya to get as far away as possible. He pulled Lu Shuang out. I'll take care of her from now on. She's already living at my place. You'd better not meet her now. I suspect that Zhuqiuani already knows about your relationship with Lu Shuang. He's planning to trap you, Baya reminded him. Xinyan smiled. The most dangerous place is the safest. Only Sheng Dongqing vaguely knows about my relationship with Lu Shuang. Besides, even Sheng Dongqing isn't 100% sure. She'll be in danger if she's not under my watch. I can guarantee her safety, Baya said. Xinyan hugged Lu Shuang's waist. But I can't come over from time to time. If I come over, they'll think that there's something going on between you and me. If I speak up for you, they'll use it against me. You can come to Lu Shuang after you solve the problem around you. Don't forget that besides Sheng Dongqing, everyone around you knows about your relationship with Lu Shuang, especially your invisible men. Aren't they the ones who want to kill Lu Shuang? Are you sure that there's no one behind Colonel Tang? Baya pulled Lu Shuang over. Xinyan pulled Lu Shuang over. Xinyan pulled Lu Shuang over again. I can guarantee that my men will not betray me. If they wanted to, they would have said that Lu Shuang is my woman. After what Colonel Tang has done, I believe that no one will dare to target her again unless they want to die. Baya was about to pull Lu Shuang over, but Xinyan moved. Baya didn't pull Lu Shuang. Chapter 648. Based on what you said, wouldn't she be in danger if she stayed with you? You've offended more people than I have. Sheng Dongqing, Zhuqiuani, Su Zheng, which one of them isn't a political figure? You think they don't hate you? They are also eyeing your position. Zhuqiuani ordered Minister Zheng to prove it. Baya retorted. But at least I'm the president now, so they won't do it openly. With my current strength, they won't dare to do it openly. Moreover, I have a perfect plan, unless they don't care about their reputation and status anymore. For them, climbing up is their only goal in this life. And you almost killed Lu Shuang last time. You have a perfect plan, but it doesn't mean that I don't. Why do you think I asked my people to follow you that day? Lu Shuang must stay with me, Xinyan said forcefully. F***ck, stop arguing. Lu Shuang couldn't stand it anymore. The more I listen to you, the weaker I feel. My dear Dor, please give me some face. Baya and Xinyan stopped talking and turned their faces away. The atmosphere suddenly became cold, and it became even more strange. Lu Shuang's waist tightened, and Xinyan looked at her with burning eyes. Lu Shuang pursed his lips and said to Baya, Xiao Bai, why don't I stay with him for a while? If I leave suddenly, people will be suspicious. If I find that he can't protect me, I will go to you. You can't abandon me. Hearing Lu Shuang's words, Baya didn't insist anymore. Moreover, she knew Lu Shuang well. If Lu Shuang asked to stay, it could only mean that he liked Xinyan. Congratulations, Xinyan. Because Baya was angry, his tone was a little sarcastic. Xinyan heard it and said, Thank you. It's all thanks to your support from the beginning. In the future, Lu Shuang will be my wife. She will manage the cabinet in the future. I insisted on letting you in. In addition to helping you complete the plan, I also hope that you will support Lu Shuang in the future. Baya sighed and looked at Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang was dumbfounded. Wasn't it funny for her to be the president's wife and manage the cabinet? Could she just be a lady and take care of the children? If you really want to be with him, you can't be as willful as before. Because you are in a high position, everyone's eyes are on you. You can't be unrestrained. You have to start learning how to manage people's hearts and balance power. I will do my best to teach you. Wait. Baya paused. She paused. She wanted to say that in the future, when Gu Lingqing got her revenge and no one could threaten their lives, they would leave and live the life they wanted. But now Xinyan and Lu Shuang both thought that Gu Lingqing was dead, so she couldn't say it. Things were changeable. She trusted Lu Shuang, but not Xinyan. Xinyan was in a high position. She wouldn't act according to her emotions. Instead, she would consider the overall situation. When you're almost ready, I'll leave, Baya continued the previous sentence. Lu Shuang's eyes turned red. Where are you going? Are you never coming back? I want to live the life I want, Baya said softly. Lu Shuang held Baya's hand and asked worriedly, Are you looking for death? Little Bai, don't. If you die, you will have nothing. Baya smiled. 5 or 6 years ago, she tried to commit suicide. She was saved by Su Jiran. She was still depressed, but she was still alive. She just wanted to live the way the people who cared about her wanted her to live. But she was unhappy. She was unhappy every day. This feeling was worse than death. She didn't want to go through it again. So now she lived for herself. Don't think so far. From now on, what you need to do is to do your best every day, Baya said and went back to business. She looked at the monitor and explained, the person who came in later was Xing Dongqing. I've sorted out the information of all the people who might be Xing Dongqing and memorized all their facial features. I remember this person's eyes. Lu Junghua, Special Forces. He died in a drill 10 years ago. He died in a drill 10 years ago, but he didn't die and became Xing Dongqing's man. Lu Shuang came back to his senses and praised, Little Bai, you're amazing. You can even remember this. Baya looked at Lu Shuang and said softly, Our brains can't be compared to hundreds of computers. It's just that the brain of a normal person is only developed by 3 to 6%. The brains of the so-called geniuses are only developed by 6 to 9%. As long as we continue to develop our potential and cultivate diligently, they could all become very powerful. Unless you're born with a mental disability, there's no such thing as intelligence or stupidity. There's only hard work and not hard work. As long as you work hard, you can do it. Lu Shuang knew that Baya was comforting her. She guessed that she was the kind of normal person who had developed 3% of her potential. What are you going to say to the police tomorrow? Xinyan returned to the main topic. It's a pity that the surveillance camera in my car was destroyed, but my place was destroyed. Maybe Zhuo Chuanyi has it, Baya guessed. He won't keep anything that's harmful to him. So, I can be sure that Zhuo Chuanyi won't leave a recording, Xinyan corrected her. That's the best. My testimony is very important. I can frame whoever I want. Although they don't believe me, many people will still make groundless accusations, Baya said calmly. You want to sow discord between Su Zheng and Zhuo Chuanyi? Xinyan guessed. You know very well that the 3 parties are out of balance now. You have to suppress Zhuo Chuanyi. Otherwise, his ambition will come to you. And the one who can suppress him, make him not be too arrogant for the time being, make him not act rashly, and put him on the table in a dignified manner is Su Zheng. Baya analyzed. You have the same idea as me. But Zhuo Chuanyi is too cautious. I'm worried that you'll be in danger. Xinyan's face darkened. I know. So, I'll have a good chat with Zhuo Chuanyi tonight. There's one more thing, which is also the reason why I came to see you today. I went to Invisible this morning and asked some people. They said that Colonel Tang is indeed uneasy. I think it's because his people failed to assassinate Lu Shuang. But if you want to talk about the reason, it's because... But it's far-fetched to say that he committed suicide because of this matter. He should have at least come to me before he committed suicide. But he didn't. Colonel Tang's autopsy report is out. It's true that he committed suicide. He didn't take any hallucinogens before he died. Moreover, when he jumped off the building, There were witnesses who proved that he was alone and no one else followed him. But his expression. What's wrong with his expression? Baya asked. Chapter 649. If he didn't commit suicide willingly, I can probably guess how he did it, Baya said as she pondered. She was a little tired from standing, so she pulled out a chair and sat down. What kind of method? Shenyan was curious. One of the FBI's basic interview questions is like this. Name a few ways to communicate, Baya said. Shenyan thought about what Baya said and said, phone, letters, language, music, secret codes. You're saying that someone used a secret code to contact Colonel Tang and ordered him to commit suicide? I'm going to check the secret codes again to see where Colonel Tang went and who passed them to him, Shin Ian said as she took out her phone and prepared to make a call. Baya stopped Shin Ian. What do you think are the secret codes that are not easy to find, easy to destroy, and can avoid surveillance? The arrangement of sounds and the arrangement of things that can be seen easily. Because they can be seen easily, most people won't care, Shin Ian thought. Also, they will choose a place where Colonel Tang will definitely see it. I remember you said that Colonel Tang locked himself in his room before he died, and the only people who could come into contact with him were the orderlies. So it's an orderly? Lu Shuang interrupted. Baya looked at her and shook her head. If it's an orderly, it's too simple. Moreover, they are a very strict organization. They won't let an orderly, who is so easily suspected, do it. So, Lu Shuang was confused. The secret code appeared in a place that Colonel Tang could see in his room, and it was at night, Baya reminded. I understand now. Shen Yen was enlightened. Understand what? Lu Shuang did not understand. Did someone sneak in and set up a formation? If that's the case, then Colonel Tang would have committed suicide soon after entering the room, instead of locking himself in the room for a long time, Baya explained. Lu Shuang looked at Shen Yen, waiting for him to undo it. She was so anxious. Shen Yen noticed Lu Shuang's gaze and said to Lu Shuang, the murderer has been hiding in the woods. Because we just went to the drill, even if she left footprints, we won't suspect anything. She has been squatting, and when Colonel Tang walked to the window, she used the light spot to send a signal. Can't other people see the light spots too? Lu Shuang was suspicious. Then they must have discussed how to communicate with each other. That location is something that ordinary people wouldn't be able to discover, guessed Shinyan. How do light dots transmit signals? Lu Shuang was curious. Light and sound are the best ways to transmit signals. It's just that there are many ways, and it's impossible for someone who isn't an insider to know. Baya explained, for example, the frequency and duration of the pause, the number of flashes, and so on. Let me give you an example. The letter A is represented by 1 flash, and the letter B is represented by 2 flashes. The letter AO can be represented by 2 flashes, a pause of 0.1 seconds and another flash. Lu Shuang understood now. So, someone gave him a signal to commit suicide. Then, won't we never be able to find out who killed him? Baya sneered and looked at Shen Yen, who had a serious expression. Not necessarily. Hurry up and tell me. I'm dying of anxiety. Lu Shuang urged. The person who can order Colonel Tang to commit suicide must have a higher position than him, and he must be someone Colonel Tang trusts and will be loyal to. This person can't be Zhuchuani, Xing Dongqing, or Su Zheng. Because if these people knew that you are Shin Yan's woman, they would have exposed you a long time ago. Moreover, Colonel Tang's motive is to be loyal, and he hopes that Shin Yan can stabilize his power. So, the person behind the scenes is in the same boat as Shin Yan. How many people around Shin Yan, who were above Colonel Tang, could order Colonel Tang around? I'm afraid there are only a few. Let me think. Baya looked at Shin Yan and said in a deep voice, one is Secretary Jiang, a trusted aide of your father. He has a complicated relationship with his subordinates, and he has the ability to make Colonel Tang listen to his orders. The second is your uncle. Although he has been abroad, he is more than enough to be your behind-the-scenes supporter. The third is the invisible Colonel Zhou. But he should have been investigated by you, and he is currently excluded as a suspect. the last one. Baya paused, and there was a sharp glint in her eyes. That's your wife, Hua Zixing. Hua Zixing. That's not possible. She treats me very well, and she purposely pushed me to be with Shenyin. Moreover, her marriage with Shenyin was arranged. She has a man she loves, and they got married to consolidate the power of their families. 4 years later, Shenyin promised to help her get together with her lover. Lu Shuang explained. Shuang Niu, Hua Zixing has been the president's wife for 2.5 years. During her tenure, no one was dissatisfied. Even the cunning women in the cabinet were managed by her. What does this prove? Baya reminded. She said that her family has been grooming her since she was young, and she said that she would teach me, Lu Shuang said straightforwardly. Yes, she has been groomed since she was young, so she is very shrewd. Don't believe what you see on the surface, and don't believe what she says, because this is what she wants you to see, Baya said earnestly. Lu Shuang didn't say anything. Indeed, she only looked at the surface, and couldn't see through the inside. Baya continued, the Hua family is the royal family, but a few years ago, the Xiang family surpassed them. Do you know why? The moment Baya asked, she regretted it. It would be weird if Lu Shuang knew. It's because country M is a country of weapons. The weapons developed by the Xiang family surpass the Hua family, and the president is also very afraid of the Xiang family. If he doesn't give them power, the Xiang family's status will get higher and higher, and the royal family will fall. After Hua Zixing and I got married, the Hua family's international prestige increased. After Hua Zixing and I married, the Hua family's international prestige increased, and they improved their weapons, Shenyin answered on behalf of Lu Shuang. Yes, that's why the Hua family's prestige increased these 2 years. But what if Hua Zixing and you divorced? After all, the Xiang clan's weapons are very good. After these 2 years of suppression, they will rebound very strongly. At that time, the Hua clan will decline very quickly. Hua Zixing's motive in marrying you is to save the Hua clan. Since Hua Zixing's motive for marrying you is to save the Hua family, will she not save it 4 years later? Baya said with certainty. After hearing Baya's words, Lu Shuang came to a sudden realization. So she's lying. She won't divorce in 4 years. Even if she doesn't like Shenyin, she will continue to dominate the position of the president's wife and hope that Shenyin will continue to be the president. Baya smiled. Lu Shuang finally understood. Shuang Niu, you have to remember, don't listen to what others say or act in front of you in the future. Instead, you have to analyze other people's true motives and what they do behind their backs. Then, you will know if this person is good or useful, Baya said earnestly. Lu Shuang understood. Although he had a good impression of Hua Zixing, he would definitely listen to Baya. Hello everyone, I am Qin Tangtang. You can follow me on WeChat. Chapter 650. There's one more thing. Don't say it out loud, especially when you don't have absolute confidence to fight back. If you say it out loud, the other party will be desperate and use extreme measures. Do you understand? Baya continued. I understand. So, even if I know that Hua Zixing is pretending to be nice to me, I can't say it out loud. I'll just pretend that she's nice to me, but I have to be wary of her, right? Lu Shuang asked seriously. Yes. Baya looked at Shenyin. Do you still want Lu Shuang to stay by your side? You have someone who's a ticking time bomb to Lu Shuang. You're right. I'll be cautious and cautious. It's precisely because she's a ticking time bomb that I have to keep Lu Shuang by my side. If she explodes, she'll injure Lu Shuang and herself. Hua Zixing cherishes her life. If she's the mastermind, she won't detonate it so easily. Don't worry. Shenyin was determined to keep Lu Shuang by her side. At least, he would risk his life to protect her. So, he didn't believe that anyone could protect her better than him. Baya saw that Shenyin was very determined and had nothing else to say. She glanced at the time on the computer and asked Shenyin, don't you have a meeting at 2 o'clock? It's 1 o'clock now. I'm not close to the Senate. Be careful. Let me know if you need any help, Shenyin said in a low voice. I do need your help with something. What is it? My subordinate was injured by the explosion. Half of her face was completely destroyed. She's still a girl and doesn't have a boyfriend. Her face is very important to a girl. Don't you have a great plastic surgeon? The one who helped me do it. Please ask them to do it for Lin Shulan. Bai Ye's eyes dimmed. When she thought of Lin Shulan, her heart felt heavy and depressed. She was injured because of her carelessness. She had to be more careful in the future. She's different from you. It's a skin injury. I'm afraid it'll take more than 2 years to recover, Shin Yan reminded her. She can afford to wait for 2 years. Sorry to trouble you. Bai Ye nodded in a friendly manner. I'll contact her after the meeting. I'll take Lu Shuang with me first. She's my assistant, and she needs to accompany me to the meeting, Shin Yan said, hugging Lu Shuang tighter, as if declaring his ownership. Lu Shuang was in pain from being hugged by him. She put a fist on his shoulder and said, "You're suffocating me." I know, Shin Yan said dotingly. Bai Ye's eyes softened slightly. Although Shin Yan was dangerous, he really loved Lu Shuang. If someone advised her to leave because it was dangerous for her to stay with Gu Lingqing, she would definitely not leave. Shuang Niu, remember, you must see through it but not say it. Hua Zixing is a very smart person, don't let her see through it. Besides, this is only my suspicion, it's not certain whether it's her or not. Bai Ye specially reminded Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang made an okay gesture. I'll call you. Take care of yourself. Bai Ye nodded and sent them out. Leng Chao went downstairs and reported, other than your own, there are 13 places that are being monitored. Is this how I'm going to deal with it? Clean them all up. I've also confirmed that there are no problems with the surveillance cameras. Then, mix them up and divide them into 3 parts. Send one to Su Zheng, one to Zhuochuani, and one to Sheng Dongqing, Bai Ye ordered. You want them to know that you're being monitored? Leng Chao didn't understand Bai Ye's intention. Bai Ye looked at Leng Chao. Isn't there a recording of Sheng Dongqing questioning me? Send it online and remember to use an overseas server. Leng Chao suddenly understood and couldn't help but give Bai Ye another thumbs up. If this recording is released, Sheng Dongqing can forget about being the president in this lifetime. Back then, he tried to frame the chief to become the president. Now, he can forget about being the president. It'll be hard for him to become the finance minister. Besides, he's a petty person. He'll suspect that it was Zhuochuani or Su Zheng who did it, but he won't suspect you. You can't possibly install a surveillance camera in your own house and let them fight amongst themselves. That's great, Leng Chao said excitedly. No, Sheng Dongqing will suspect me too. According to his violent personality, he'll definitely pressure Shin, Bai Ye guessed. Then what should we do? Leng Chao was worried again. Shen isn't easy to deal with either. He'll direct the conflict to Zhuochuani because he urgently needs to suppress Zhuochuani's power. Leng Chao clapped his hands. That's right. Bai Ye smiled. Go to the meeting. You must find someone to take care of Lin Shulan. Also, tell her not to worry. Her face will recover in 2 years at most. I promise. I'll send someone to protect you. You need a considerate woman to take care of you. There's no need. I heard from Zhang Xingyu that Shulan has passed the critical period. She woke up in the morning. When she can be discharged, I'll bring her to the manor to take care of her. After all, she did it to protect me. I can't abandon her, Bai Ye said firmly. But I also need someone to take care of you too. Don't worry. The person I'll send this time must be someone I can trust. I'll ask Zhang Xingyu to move in directly. He's enough. Thanks. Bai Ye patted Leng Chao's shoulder. I'm a little sleepy. I'll take a nap first. All right, I'll keep in touch. After Leng Chao left, Bai Ye lay on the bed, feeling very tired. She didn't sleep well yesterday, and today was a battle of wits and courage. She had to have a good rest so that she would have enough energy and brain power to deal with the next things. However, Lu Shuang forgave her. She smiled. She felt a heavy stone in her heart lightened a little, but there was another heavy stone pressing on her. She had already killed Lu Shuang's mother. She must protect Lu Shuang. Looking at Xinyan, Lu Shuang would definitely become the wife of the president in the future. However, she knew Lu Shuang. He was too carefree and heartless. It was fine to be a civilian. She could live her own life. However, as the wife of the president, her every move represented the country and the royal family. She was really worried that Lu Shuang would not be able to adapt to it. She must teach him everything she could as soon as possible. Otherwise, when she left, she would still be worried. In a daze, she fell asleep. She dreamed again. She dreamed of Gu Lingqing again. He was surrounded by the sea, and he was sitting alone on a very small rock in the middle of the sea. She was afraid that he would fall down, but her mind told her that it was just a dream. However, even if it was a dream, she did not want to see Gu Lingqing fall down. He stood on the rock and looked at her with a deep gaze. It was as if he had something to say to her, but he did not speak. He just stared at her. She was so afraid that when she woke up, she would not be able to see him again. A big wave rushed towards her. She found that Gu Lingqing was gone. Without thinking, she jumped into the sea. Her chest felt so stuffy that she was about to suffocate. She opened her eyes. Chapter 651. Song Xiu rushed into her room worriedly. Xiaoya, what's wrong? Baiya pointed outside the window. There was a shadow flashing by just now. I really saw it. That person was lying on the window like a spider. Zhang Xingyu heard the noise and ran over. Someone's there? Our people probably didn't see it. Otherwise, they would have reported it to me. I'll get them to look for it now. Don't. Baiya quickly calmed down. Many thoughts flashed through her mind. She needed time to organize herself. She couldn't be as careless as before. You told our people not to move. Maybe someone didn't leave after they came in at noon. They purposely hid to test the situation. After all, we checked them clearly when they came, but we didn't check them clearly when they left, Baiya analyzed. Zhang Xingyu lowered her head apologetically. I've overlooked it. Please punish me. Anyone can overlook something, but it'll lead to a bad outcome. From today onwards, we can't overlook anything. Fill the outside with cameras too, Baiya ordered. Okay. I'll go check the surveillance first. If I remember correctly, there are surveillance cameras that can capture something outside the window, Baiya said and stood up. She went to the library to check the surveillance cameras. Zhang Xingyu was worried that someone was hiding in the room. She followed Baiya to the library. Baiya checked all the surveillance cameras. She stared at the black shadow on the screen and said, that person didn't come in. For safety's sake, get someone to check again. Make sure that the room isn't bugged. Zhang Xingyu immediately made the call. Baiya sat in front of the computer and was deep in thought. Xiaoya, is there anything I can help you with? Song Xiu asked worriedly. Baiya shook her head. Thank you, Ma. I'm sorry to have made you worry. There's no need to thank me. We're a family. You don't look too well recently. You must be upset about what happened to Lin Shulan. I'll cook some nutritious porridge for you. Even if you don't eat it, the child still has to eat it, Song Xiu said gently. Baiya smiled and nodded. Song Xiu turned around and left. Baiya was still staring blankly at the screen. The man on the window was wearing a mask and a blindfold. He was armed to the teeth and had a seatbelt around his waist. There were no devices in his hands. It didn't look like he wanted to open the window. Moreover, he stayed at the window for a full 6 minutes without moving at all. Madam. Zhang Xingyu also called out, waiting for Baiya's instructions. If our people didn't discover him, I'm guessing he's still in our blind spot, Baiya said. Could it be the roof? But someone was staring at the roof and didn't notice anything strange, Zhang Xingyu said in confusion. He's wearing black clothes, but it's daytime now. So, he should be hiding in the area with the black tiles on the roof. If I remember correctly, there's an air vent that leads to the attic. Usually, no one goes up to the attic. He's very skilled. He's likely to be carrying a gun and an explosive weapon. Guns and explosive weapons, Baiya reminded. If he's carrying a very powerful explosive weapon, he might blow up the entire villa. It's best that you leave safely now, madam. Zhang Xingyu was worried. If we leave openly now, we might anger that person. There's a safe passage here. I can hide in there just in case. Let the people from the Dark Shadow and Lung Shuang evacuate first. Remember, when you evacuate, be careful. Don't let him discover you. Choose the attic, Baya reminded. No, if we evacuate, you'll be in danger without anyone to protect you. Also, someone has to catch him. I'll go, Zhang Xingyu volunteered. Catching that man was more dangerous than disarming a bomb. It was a narrow escape. Baya couldn't bear to do it. Other than Lin Shulan, Zhang Xingyu was the closest to her among the soldiers. She couldn't bear to let the other soldiers go. After we evacuate, throw the walkie-talkies and phones into the attic, and come to the library immediately, Baya ordered. Aren't we going to catch that person? Zhang Xingyu asked in confusion. That person, whether it's Xing Dongqing or Zhuochuani, once he's discovered, he won't be able to live. There's no point in catching him. Just do as I say, Baya ordered. All right. Zhang Xingyu had no other choice but to do as Baya said. An hour later, the people from the Dark Shadow and Lung Shuang retreated to the security area. Zhang Xingyu appeared in the library. Seeing that there was no one there, he shouted, "Madam, madam." "I'm here," Baya said. Zhang Xingyu looked for the source of the voice and saw Baya and Song Xiu hiding at the entrance of the tunnel. "Come up," Baya shouted. "Oh." Zhang Xingyu climbed up in surprise. So there was a secret tunnel here. Baya covered the entrance. "Is it done?" Zhang Xingyu nodded. "It's done. What do we do next?" Baya turned on the walkie-talkie and said, "I know you're here. Don't be afraid and panic. If I wanted to catch you, I would have caught you long ago. I know you have a mission to complete." The other party didn't say anything, but Baya could vaguely hear the breath on the other end and knew that he was listening. "My husband used to be a special forces soldier. He was an amazing person. He didn't rely on his family's power and started from the bottom. He reached a height that many people were afraid of, but he died under a bullet. I used to hate his job. After all, women want a family and a life, but men still want passion, patriotism, and a sense of responsibility. Do you know what the mission he regretted the most was?" Baya said. The other party still didn't say anything. Zhang Xingyu was a little nervous. This kind of pressure made people feel that the air was thin. Baya continued. Once, he received a mission from his superior. As the team leader, he led a team to rescue a political figure. In the end, his brothers and comrades died in front of him one by one. Only he and Xiaohe came back. This incident caused a lot of commotion in Country A. I think you've heard about it. When we went to investigate another case, we met Xiaohe, who was in hiding. Xiaohe said that she wasn't a spy, but my husband didn't believe her. Only he and Xiaohe survived. Xiaohe escaped and Zhou Hailan came back. Zhou Hailan was my husband's first love. They went on the mission together. My husband saw with his own eyes that she was engulfed in the fire to protect the political figure. In the end, she came back safe and sound. She even gave birth to a child with him. After 5 years, the truth of the matter was revealed. It turned out that the mission was fake. The goal was to kill a group of people who knew the secret. The mastermind was Xing Dongqing. Chapter 652. I don't know, but I have the desire to talk to you, you know? My husband often felt sorry for his dead comrades. He blamed himself until he died. Before he died, he told me to take revenge for his dead comrades. Baya paused. The other party paused too. He didn't say anything, but he didn't hang up either. Silence wasn't a good thing. Baya continued, "You could have killed me. I was careless today, but you didn't. I think you should be a person with ideas, passion, and a sense of justice." "You don't have to flatter me," the man said. Baya smiled. "Because you didn't kill me, if you have any requests, I will try my best to help you." "I saw your men retreat," the man said in a deep voice. Baya was slightly shocked. This man's observation and sharpness were stronger than she had imagined. However, she heaved a sigh of relief. He either wasn't a heartless person, or he didn't have a bomb. She didn't deny it. "I'm worried that you're a death warrior. These comrades follow me and protect me. They have families, friends, and lives. I don't want them to die just like this. Their families will be sad because of me. It's not worth it for them to die like this." "You're right. I'm a death warrior. If the bomb on me explodes, Everything within a kilometer will be flattened. Your soldiers will only be safe if they retreat to the gate. I asked them to retreat to the gate. If you don't explode it, the person behind you won't let you go, Baya guessed. I'm not from your country. He changed the topic. An idea flashed through Baya's mind. She blurted out, LV Bowie. You know me? LV Bowie was surprised. I already knew that you were the murderer who killed Minister Zheng. I checked your information. If I'm not wrong, Zhuchuani planted a listening and detonating device in your teeth, Baya said worriedly. I took it off and destroyed it 10 minutes ago. Can I see you? LV Bowie asked. Baya hesitated. Madam, please don't. We can guarantee our safety if we don't go out now. It's too dangerous to go out. What if his mission is to kill you and he's lying to you? Zhang Xingyu advised. LV Bowie sneered. Indeed, you can choose not to come out. If I didn't complete my mission, I would have died. Baya pondered for 3 seconds. Come to the hall now. I'll go to the hall. Baya said and turned off the walkie-talkie. Madam, please don't. He's too dangerous. He could cut off Minister Zheng's head with a single slash. I'm no match for him. I won't be able to protect you, Zhang Xingyu said. I believe that if he wanted to kill me, he would have already killed me, Baya said calmly. He was hiding behind the window. With his brute force, he could have easily opened the window and killed me before you came in, but he didn't. This kind of desperado can change his mind at any time. Maybe he wants to kill again? It's too dangerous. I can't let you go. Zhang Xingyu stood in front of Baya. But he might have something we need. He's not a brainless person. Trust my judgment, Zhang Xingyu. Baya looked at Zhang Xingyu with determination. Zhang Xingyu thought for a while and turned to the side. He put down the ladder. I'll have the sniper ready outside. He'll protect your safety with his life. Don't go out. Take care of my mother-in-law. Madam, you're going alone? Zhang Xingyu was not calm. If something happens to you, the chief will blame me. Baya was very calm. If there's a 1 in 10,000 chance that something happened to me, pass the recording on the walkie-talkie and the surveillance footage on my phone to Leng Shua. She handed her phone to Zhang Xingyu. You know the password. This is an order, Baya said domineeringly. Zhang Xingyu looked at Baya. He was so anxious that his eyes turned red. Baya smiled. Also, take care of Lin Shulan. She likes you. Huh? Zhang Xingyu was stunned. Baya went down the ladder. She gathered her clothes and walked to the door. Zhang Xingyu was still worried and wanted to go out. Song Shiyu held Zhang Xingyu's arm. Listen to her. She knows what she's doing. Zhang Xingyu nodded helplessly. When Baya arrived at the living room, LV Bowie had not come down yet. She made a cup of coffee calmly and placed it in front of her. She poured herself a glass of water and took a sip. I hope you understand. My sniper is outside. But don't worry. They won't shoot unless it's absolutely necessary. LV Bowie slowly walked down the stairs. He was still fully armed and sized up Baya. Baya looked at him too. There was no fear in her eyes. Her heart was as calm as still water. Drink the coffee while it's hot. You're brave, LV Bowie said. He was still scrutinizing Baya. Because there are people I love in my heart, I can be invincible. I think what I'm doing is right. Even if I die, at least I'm working hard every day. Although there are regrets, I'm not letting myself down, Baya said honestly. During a mission, a terrorist organization captured my wife and children. They forced me to compromise and hand over the biochemical weapon. I didn't hand it over, so they killed my wife and children. I guess that there was a traitor in our team. Otherwise, how could the terrorist organization capture my wife and children? This was a secret mission. When I handed over the weapon, I was careful. The one I handed over was fake. As expected, my superior opened the biochemical bottle and wanted to use us on the mission as an experiment. I killed my superior and escaped with my brothers. I wanted to report to the people above me. But one of my brothers told me before he died that the person behind the scenes was not only my superior. There were people above me. I started from the terrorist organization and found out that the terrorist organization was in country. Zhuchuani found me. He was introduced to me by one of my brothers. Zwachuani promised me that as long as I helped him, he would help me find the terrorist organization and find the person behind it. But I found out that there was something wrong with my brother. He secretly called back to America. I checked the number. The number was encrypted, LV Bowie said. Chapter 653. So, you want me to help you find this terrorist organization and the person behind it? You guessed. There's one more important thing. Actually, I've learned some things about you over the past 2 days. I feel that, so far, only you are worthy of my trust. What? I know that many countries are researching biochemical weapons. When I first received the mission, I resolutely went. When I obtained the biochemical weapons, I also learned one thing. In order to prevent the information on these biochemical weapons from leaking, they killed the researchers. However, when I received the biochemical weapons, I also learned one thing. However, 2 of the researchers were very smart. They predicted that this would happen and ran away before the biochemical weapon was successfully developed. One of them took away all the information at that time, and the other one was the smartest and most talented person among them. This person came to your country. Su Jiran flashed in Ya's mind. She remembered that Su Jiran had started researching biochemical weapons 2 years ago. You said that the person who came to a country was the smartest and most talented one? Yes, the whereabouts of the other one is unknown. Although the information he took away was not complete, and their research team later used another 2 years to develop a finished product, I'm worried that one day, that person will develop a biochemical weapon. Is this biochemical weapon very lethal? Ya asked worriedly. Have you heard of superviruses? There are a few cases in your country. Long-term use of antibiotics will make the germs in the body more tenacious, and then no medicine can treat it. Ya used to be a doctor. She had heard this news a few years ago. She nodded and corrected him. There is such news, saying that the germs are constantly evolving, but in the future, there will be no medicine to treat the supervirus. It's just an expert prediction. This biochemical weapon is the 5S germs. The incubation period is 3 days. After 3 days, the 7 apertures will slowly bleed, and the germs will die within 5 days. It will spread, and it's very dangerous, LV Bowie said solemnly. Ya was stunned. Super virus. Is there an antidote? Yes, they developed it, and it's also in my hands. But I'm worried that these germs will eventually evolve into the 6S germs. Can the high temperature kill it? Ya was also worried. The higher the temperature, the more active it is. It can make a person's body temperature reach 56 degrees Celsius. The only way to kill it is to destroy it with a freezing temperature of 1000 degrees Celsius. Firstly, I don't have such equipment. Secondly, someone can develop it again. So, it's useless even if I destroy it. What do you want me to do? Ya had a vague idea. Develop the antidote. Not only the 6S antidote, but also the 7S antidote to prevent a global biohazard crisis, LV Bowie said solemnly. Ya actually did not want to accept such a heavy task. Her own task was heavy enough. However, this mission would also endanger their friends and family. No matter who it was, as long as they had the ability, they would be duty-bound. I will do my best to develop the antidote. As for the biochemical weapon, I suggest that we destroy it to avoid any accidents that might lead to an unmanageable outcome. LV Bowie nodded. He passed the bullet necklace hanging around his neck to Ya. He opened the bullet, and inside was a key. Do you have a pen and paper? Ya gave him a pen and paper. He wrote down the address and showed it to Ya. Do you remember it? LV Bowie asked. Yes. I'll leave this to you. The white bottle is the antidote, and the red bottle is the biochemical weapon, LV Bowie said. Ya nodded. Her gaze was heavy and solemn. LV Bowie took out a lighter and burned the note. You didn't complete the mission this time. Zwachuani won't let you go. What are you going to do? Ya asked. I'm on the run. I'm used to it anyway. I'll continue to look for that terrorist organization and find the person behind it. After I give it to you, I won't have anything to worry about. LV Bowie said and chuckled. Be careful. If Swichuani can't kill you once, there will be a second time. Thank you for your reminder. I'll try not to give him a second chance. If you need help, you can come back and find me. I'll give you my phone number, Baya said. She quickly wrote down her phone number on the paper and passed it to LV Bowie. I'll remember that. See you later. He quickly walked out of the room. Baya was still sitting in his seat, spacing out. Zhang Xingyu and Song Xiu saw everything through the surveillance camera on Baya's phone. With great power comes great responsibility. If Ling Qing knows about this, he'll accept it too, Song Xiu comforted Baya. Baya nodded. Yes, if it's Ling Qing he'll accept it too. We don't have time to deal with this yet. Looks like Swichuani is more afraid of me. He's more dangerous than Xing Dongqing. What should we do? Should I ask Chief Lung to send more people? Zhang Xingyu said worriedly. Let's do that. Tell me the name of the person you've chosen. I don't want someone else's spy to sneak into my place, Baya reminded. Yes, I'll be more careful this time, Zhang Xingyu promised. You guys do what you need to do. I'm going to rest for a while more. She was not sure if it was because she had used too much brain power or because she was pregnant, but she felt very tired today. She lay on the bed to rest and stared at the ceiling in a daze. Her phone rang. She saw that it was Xin Yan who picked up the call. Baya, we've unanimously agreed to let you enter the cabinet later. No one dares to target your website now. You can finally show off your skills, Xin Yan said in a good mood. Baya also raised the corner of her mouth slightly. This is a good start. One more thing. Are you familiar with Xing Buhua? Xin Yan suddenly asked. Baya was silent for 3 seconds. What do you mean familiar? What do you mean not familiar? His face is exactly the same as Gu Lingqing's. It's easy for me to hallucinate and feel a sense of familiarity. Sometimes, I really think that he's Gu Lingqing, but his personality is completely different from Gu Lingqing's. He's very distant and doesn't really talk to me. I don't dare to talk to him too much, because I'm afraid that I'll fall into my imagination. He got into an argument with Swichuani today. I happened to pass by and heard him say that he wants to pursue you, Xin Yan said. What? Baya was surprised. Regarding this problem, she had discussed it with Xing Buhua previously. In order to let Swichuani and Xing Dongqing lower their guard against her, Xing Buhua allowed her to date someone. Moreover, they had agreed that it would be someone that he could trust. Why did it suddenly become him? Because they had discussed whether it was him or not. If it was Xing Buhua who pursued her, it would be equivalent to making Swichuani and the others fear him even more. It would not be suitable for him to hide. Chapter 654. I envy his guts, but it's not rational to say it in front of Swichuani. He looks like Gu Lingqing. If he pursues you, Swichuani will definitely treat him as the #1 enemy. Swichuani and Xing Dongqing are both the type that would rather kill 100 innocent people than let one go, Xin Yan analyzed. I'm shocked too. I also feel very shocked. It's very sudden, Baya said as she sat up. She was flustered, but more worried than anything else. If he pursues you, will you agree? Xin Yan asked again. I need to think about it. Baya really wanted to think about it. Why would Xing Buhua suddenly say that? She hung up the phone and called Xing Buhua directly. She went straight to the point. Why did you tell Swichuani that you wanted to pursue me? I can't let my woman become the target of everyone. That's too dangerous for you. Xing Buhua drove and looked ahead. Baya's heart trembled. She understood that Xing Buhua was diverting Swichuani's attention so that they would deal with him directly. That way, she would have some breathing space. But she felt sorry for him. Didn't we agree on this? You stay hidden, and I'll date someone else to offset Swichuani's vigilance and targeting, Baya said helplessly. That's what we discussed, but Swichuani's murderous intent is too strong. I'm worried that it's too late. Don't worry, I'll be fine. I promise you. You promised me before. What happened? Baya was a little emotional. In the end, am I not still fine here? All right, I still have some things to deal with later. It's already like this. Be good, Xing Buhua coaxed. I will reject your pursuit and be with Alan. That's all. Bai Ya hung up the phone. If she agrees to Xing Buhua's pursuit, there will be no need for Gu Lingqing to change his appearance. Zhou Chuanyi and Sheng Dongqing will definitely not let him go. Now is not the time for them to be together. With her and Alan together, at least with Alan's identity, Zhou Chuanyi and Sheng Dongqing wouldn't dare to provoke them. However, she couldn't bear to use Alan, so she had to make things clear to Alan. His phone rang. It was a series of unfamiliar numbers. Bai Ya answered. Are you trying to piss me off? I won't allow it. Alan, Su Jiran, don't contact these people. Alright, it's all my fault. I was too anxious. My friend will come to a land the day after tomorrow. If you date him, Zhou Chuanyi and Sheng Dongqing won't dare to target you. Xing Buhua softened. He sighed and said, Bai Ya didn't say anything and hung up the phone. She took out one of the few photo albums of Gu Lingqing and stared at him. She knew that she shouldn't doubt Xing Buhua, but she seemed to doubt him again. According to Gu Lingqing's character, if she said that she wanted to date Alan, he wouldn't say so many words and he wouldn't admit his mistake. He would rush over and kiss her with a cold face until she compromised. That kind of majesty and power was not what Xing Buhua had now. Did Gu Lingqing really change? Or, she was too tired and her memory was messed up? No, she had to rest, have a good rest. She couldn't think too much, she didn't have time to think too much. She locked the photo album in the drawer and forced herself to sleep. But the more she forced herself to sleep, the more she couldn't. She couldn't sleep. She was annoyed and tired. She sat up again and covered her head with her hands. She kept convincing herself that Gu Lingqing was only doing this for her and that he was Gu Lingqing. Knock, knock, knock. There was a knock on the door and Song Xiu's kind voice came in. Xiao Ya, are you asleep? Song Xiu opened the door and held a plate with a bowl of porridge and fruit salad on it. Eat something and sleep, Song Xiu said with a smile. Mom, is it possible that your brother's mistress has twins? Bai Ya asked carefully. Song Xiu shook her head. I don't think so. If it is, the child should be dead. Why are you suddenly asking this? If, and I'm saying if, Gu Lingqing changed his appearance and stood in front of you, would you be able to recognize him? Song Xiu looked at Bai Ya. What are you trying to say? No, nothing. I might be too tired recently, so I keep having hallucinations. Bai Ya held her forehead and said. She should tell Song Xiu not to worry too much. Although Song Xiu wasn't in politics, there were still a lot of things in the company that she had to solve. Have a good rest after eating. You're talking about Xing Buhua, right? I saw that young man secretly. Although there are some differences in his words and actions, he is Lingqing. I can feel it, especially the way he looks at you. It's exactly the same as how Lingqing looks at you. You can't lie to him. Song Xiu comforted her softly. Bai Ya responded and lowered her head to eat the porridge. Just put it on the coffee table after you finish it. The chef and the others have left. I'll cook something delicious for you tonight. Bai Ya nodded again. Song Xiu turned around and left. She forced herself to eat. When she ate, the blood would concentrate in her stomach. If she ate too much, the brain would lack oxygen due to the lack of blood supply, making her sleepy. She had to make herself rest so that she wouldn't have an emotional breakdown. As soon as Xing Buhua stepped into the Xing family, Xing Shang slapped him hard on the face. Xing Buhua's face was tilted and he lowered his head. I think you're crazy. The Zhou family, the Sheng family, and the Shen family are all your opponents. Which one of them doesn't have a blood feud with you? How dare you tell Zhou Chuanyi that you want to pursue Bai Ya? Are you complaining that they don't target you? Are you living too comfortably? Xing Shang scolded him. Xing Buhua was very calm. He said without changing his expression, I have my reasons for doing this. What's your reason? Xing Shang widened his eyes and said as if he had understood everything, you're in love with Bai Ya, so you're transferring the danger to her. You're drawing all the attention of your enemies to yourself. You're setting yourself on fire. Bai Ya is a femme fatale. Just because I have the same face as Gu Lingqing, I'm a thorn in their side. I'm so blatant. According to Zhou Chuanyi's character, he'll think that I'm not Gu Lingqing. This is a better cover, Xing Buhua explained. Only you know whether you're covering up or transferring the conflict. But this is the last time I trust you. If I find that you're still acting recklessly without caring about your own interests, I can only tell Leng Shuai your real identity. According to Leng Shuai's respect for Gu Lingqing, he should still stand on your side. I'll help you take revenge. Bai Ye is a femme fatale. I'll kill her, Xing Shang said fiercely. Chapter 655. She's a resourceful person. Don't forget that she's now in the cabinet and her website is protected. She'll be a good right-hand woman for me. During the meal today, she managed to sow discord between Su Zheng and Zhou Chuani. She's as capable as I am, Xing Buhua said. Bai Ye said. Xing Shang stared at Xing Buhua. She's very capable. If she becomes your wife one day, she'll be able to control the whole situation easily. However, you've fallen in love with her. Don't forget what you promised me. Qiu Ting will be the one to accompany you to the end of your life. You have to marry Hua Rui now. Xing Buhua frowned. I know what I'm doing. You've gone to provoke Zhou Chuani publicly. Don't see Bai Ye for the time being. Stay aloof for a while and look for her when you need her. Don't force me to use the second plan, Xing Shang threatened. Got it. Xing Buhua nodded. I'll leave now. Stay at home tonight and don't go anywhere. Qiu Ting has been causing trouble for Hua Rui recently. Give her a promise tonight. Consummate the marriage when it's time. She's been waiting for you for a long time, Xing Shang said in a commanding tone. Xing Buhua remained silent. He turned around and returned to his room. He called Bai Ye, but Bai Ye didn't pick up. He called Bai Ye again, but Bai Ye still didn't pick up. He was annoyed and upset. She didn't pick up the phone, which made his heart feel like it was burning. There was a knock on the door. Come in, Xing Buhua said impatiently. Qiu Ting walked into his room and sat on his bed with a red face. Grandpa said you have something to tell me. What do you want to hear? Xing Buhua asked expressionlessly. Grandpa said that you and Hua Rui are together because you want to become the president. Once you become the president, you will marry me, Hua Rui said sweetly and looked at Xing Buhua shyly. Hua Rui, do you like a man who can sleep with many women for the sake of power? Xing Buhua asked coldly. I know you're doing this for our future. I can accept it, but you can sleep with them, but you can't fall in love with them. That's my bottom line, Qiu Ting said seriously. Xing Buhua narrowed his eyes and said without giving him any face, You've really eaten too many retarded pills. You can go out now. What do you mean? Qiu Ting stood up anxiously and questioned, Have you fallen for Hua Rui, the most beautiful woman in country M? Xing Buhua stared at Qiu Ting and his eyes became darker and darker. Why don't you say anything? I'm right. I'll tell Grandpa now and let him decide for me. Qiu Ting wanted to go out. Xing Buhua held Qiu Ting's hand. She didn't know, but Xing Shang knew that if he refused Xing Shang's arrangement again, Xing Shang would really hurt Bai Ye. He wouldn't let anything happen to her, even if he had to hurt others. Will you sleep here tonight? Xing Buhua said. Sleep here? Really? Qiu Ting couldn't think straight. Come here, Xing Buhua shouted. Qiu Ting's temper disappeared. She stood in front of Xing Buhua and looked at Xing Buhua with infatuation. Xing Buhua's face looked even better when he was serious. He was more manly and charming. She had liked him since she was young. Will you tell Grandpa what I said today? Xing Buhua asked. Of course not. This is between us. I'm not stupid, Qiu Ting promised. Xing Buhua's eyes were filled with mockery. It would be strange if she didn't tell him. I've always treated you as my sister. You know, if I were you, I'd choose someone who loves me and live a good life, Xing Buhua said sincerely. Qiu Ting widened her eyes and got angry. I don't want to be your sister. I want to be your wife. Grandpa promised me. If you don't, Grandpa won't let you go. Xing Buhua gritted his teeth. He knew everything. From today onwards, you can move into my room. But you know, I'll only marry you after I stabilize my position. So, don't let anyone find out about our relationship. Otherwise, we'll both die. I know. I won't tell anyone. Qiu Ting was embarrassed. I'll go now. Take my luggage. She ran away quickly. Xing Buhua didn't hide his disgust. Xing Shang wanted to kill Bai Ye. His words had erased the respect he had for Xing Shang. He knew long ago that Xing Shang trained him to satisfy his own ambition. And Qiu Ting's real identity was Xing Shang's illegitimate daughter. He made a call. Li Junyan, come to my room and put on the hallucinogen. I have something for you to do. Dinner. Qiu Ting's eyes were fixed on Xing Buhua. She pursed her lips and smiled affectionately. Xing Shang saw it and smiled. Are you satisfied? Grandpa, you're making fun of me. Qiu Ting said coquettishly. But just be happy. Don't ruin Brother Hua's plan. Don't be jealous. You'll ruin the big plan if you can't bear it. Xing Shang reminded her. Okay, I got it. I'm full. I'm going to take a shower. Qiu Ting stole a glance at Xing Buhua before leaving. You made the right choice today. Listen to me. You won't go wrong. Don't let Qiu Ting down. She's sacrificed enough for you. Okay. Xing Buhua replied. I'm going back to my room too. Without waiting for Xing Shang's reply, he turned and walked up the stairs. After entering the door, he locked it. Qiu Ting looked at Xing Buhua with a blushing face. She cleared her throat and said, Shall we watch TV first? I'm going to take a shower first. You can take a shower after that. Xing Buhua said calmly. Qiu Ting nodded sweetly. She took out her sexy pajamas from her suitcase. Xing Buhua walked into the bathroom first. He locked the door, washed his hair and went out. Qiu Ting was already standing at the door with the pajamas. Qiu Ting, have you thought it through? Xing Buhua asked again. Qiu Ting nodded. I've thought it through. I'm going to be with you for the rest of my life. I don't care who you've slept with. You care. Otherwise, you wouldn't have made things difficult for Huarui. Xing Buhua reminded her. You're not allowed to like other women. Qiu Ting said domineeringly. I'll say it one last time. I'll only treat you as my sister. Are you still going to wait for me? Xing Buhua asked seriously. Qiu Ting nodded. I'll say it one last time. You and I will definitely be together. Xing Buhua lowered his eyes. He looked at the bathroom door and said, Okay, take a shower. Qiu Ting walked into the bathroom. Xing Buhua closed the door. He poured a glass of water and put in a pink pill. He shook it and looked at the bathroom door apologetically. Chapter 656. I'm not Qiu Ting's best choice. She should choose someone who loves her, cares for her, tolerates her, and takes care of her. Haven't you always liked her? You're very suitable, Xing Buhua said calmly. But she loves you. Li Junyan lowered his head. I love someone else. I won't fall in love with anyone else except her. Xing Shang asked me to consummate the night with her. I'll leave her to you tonight. Treat her well, Xing Buhua said. Li Junyan was nervous. I'm worried that she'll hate me when she finds out one day. She's still young. She doesn't know who's the best for her. She'll understand when she grows up. Li Junyan nodded. I'll take care of her for the rest of my life. Xing Buhua patted Li Junyan's shoulder. After a while, Qiu Ting changed into her pajamas and came out. She didn't even wear her underwear. She had gone all out. But Xing Buhua looked at her as if she was a statue. He didn't have any other thoughts. He handed her a glass of water. It's good for your body to rehydrate after a shower. Okay. Qiu Ting drank the water obediently and put her arms around the back of Xing Buhua's neck. Grandpa told me that we should have sex first so that I can calm down. He said that he'll help me. He just wants me to endure it and stay behind you for now. I'll be obedient in the future. You should find someone who loves you, cares for you, and takes care of you, Xing Buhua said with a deep voice. Aren't you? I believe that you'll fall in love with me in the future. You won't be able to find a better woman than me, Qiu Ting said confidently. Xing Buhua pulled her hands down. Close your eyes. Okay. Qiu Ting closed her eyes. No, Buhua. What's wrong? Why do you want me to close my eyes? Xing Buhua took a ribbon and tied it around Qiu Ting's eyes. It's a little painful the first time. Bear with it. Okay, Qiu Ting answered happily. Xing Buhua stepped back. Li Junyan stepped forward and kissed Xiao Ting's lips. He opened the secret passage and left. Many emotions were suppressed in his heart. There were many things that he couldn't tell anyone. The only person he wanted to see now was Bai Ye. When Bai Ye woke up, it was already 8 o'clock in the evening. After a long sleep, she felt more energetic. Song Shiu made her delicious fish soup, braised pork trotters, soybeans, tomatoes, eggs, and diced chicken. Xiao Ye, the company will start the annual vacation tomorrow. Do you want to go somewhere? I will go with you, Song Shiu said lovingly. She also wanted to go out for a walk, to buy new clothes, to buy New Year's goods, to watch movies with friends, to sing songs, to have a party, to have a vacation, and to feel the atmosphere before the new year. However, she could not go out casually. She was in danger. Her soldiers were even more in danger. For example, Lin Shulan was seriously injured in the hospital in order to protect her. In the past, when I was still an obstetrician and gynecologist, I wanted supreme power. I felt that only then could I match up with Gu Lingqing. Now I have great power, but I have lost my simple happiness. It turns out that I have always seen what others have and ignored what I have. Bai Ye sighed with a smile. Her eyes were wet. If I had thought it through earlier and agreed to be with you too, perhaps you two could be together happily now, Song Shiu said guiltily. Bai Ye held Song Shiu's hand and said, "You've already tried back then. Dad has his way of thinking, and I can understand his way of thinking now. This is fate. At least, I didn't have anything in the past, but now I have a good mother. You are a smart child. Ling Qing is lucky to have you as his wife. He will get better one day," Song Shiu comforted Bai Ye. Bai Ye nodded. She also said to Song Shiu, "As long as I keep working hard, I will get better one day." Bai Ye's phone rang. She looked at the caller ID and saw that it was Zhuochuani. Zhuochuani taught her a trick. She needed to do anti-recording on her phone. She picked up the phone. "You are very capable," Zhuochuani said in a strange tone. "In fact, in terms of power and status, you are 1,000 times more capable than me," Bai Ye said meaningfully. "What do you want? Tell me." Zhuochuani's tone was not very pleasant. "I remember telling you that I want you to let go of Lady Zheng's child. That child is innocent." "When his mother died, he followed his mother," Zhuochuani said arrogantly. Bai Ye's face turned cold. "I don't feel your sincerity, and I don't feel the need for you to call me again. My man is with you now, right? What do you want? Convince him to bite back at me?" Zhuochuani's face darkened. "I don't know what you are talking about. Who are you with me?" Bai Ye asked back. She suddenly remembered something. If Zhuochuani wanted the biochemical weapon in LV Bowie's hands, he would not have asked LV Bowie to be a suicide soldier. She was too tired before, and her mind was not clear. She could not think clearly. Therefore, Zhuochuani did not know that the biochemical weapon was in LV Bowie's hands, so he could not be the leader of the terrorist organization. "Don't pretend. Since you already found him, how could you not know?" Zhuochuani said in disgust. "Oh, so that person is your man." Bai Ye pretended not to know. "Tell me, what else do you want?" Zhuochuani said impatiently. "First, your man is not in my hands. I didn't catch him. Second, other than the secret about Gu Lingqing that I am interested in, there is nothing else I want. Third, I am not a politician. You don't have to target me like this." "My man is really not in your hands?" Zhuochuani did not believe it. "If your man was really in my hands, I would have negotiated with you a long time ago, wouldn't I? Why would I want your man? Use him to accuse you. As long as you don't admit it and insist that you are innocent, who can prove that he is your man? So, your men are really not in my hands. Also, please don't send people to me anymore. I just want to live a peaceful life, okay?" Bai Ye negotiated. Zhuochuani paused. "What are you going to tell the police tomorrow?" "I don't want to say anything. If I say that you want to set Shiniyen up, I will offend Shiniyen and you. I don't need to do that. But if Su Jing doesn't want to let me go, there is nothing I can do. Do you have any good suggestions?" Bai Ye asked. "You can just say that it is about Su Zheng's secret. What secret does Su Zheng have? Baiya was curious. Maybe Zhuchuani really knew something that Su Zheng did not know. Chapter 657. His secret is also Gu Lingqing's secret. He once wanted to kill Gu Lingqing. The moment Zhuchuani opened his mouth, Baiya knew what he was going to say. This was what she was going to tell him at the police station. At that time he thought that Xia He was a spy. He told Leng Shuai Xia He's address on purpose so that Leng Shuai could catch Xia He. Gu Lingqing already knew the truth, so he definitely wouldn't sacrifice another comrade. But if Gu Lingqing saved Xia He, he would be an accomplice. You can tell him this secret, Zhuchuani suggested. Baiya raised the corner of her mouth coldly and sarcastically. Zhuchuani was not a pushover. He immediately thought of how to deal with Su Zheng. He even used Xing Dongqing's previous incident to hype it up. In this way, he could suppress Su Zheng and Xing Dongqing and keep himself out of the conflict. If she told them that Lady Zheng was ordered by Zhuchuani, as long as Zhuchuani denied it, there would be no evidence. However, if she told them this, firstly, she could take revenge for Su Zheng's attempt to frame Gu Lingqing. Secondly, she could save Zhuchuani face. Thirdly, as long as Xing Dongqing and Su Zheng were smart, they would think that Zhuchuani was behind Lady Zheng. Then what Lady Zheng said would also be taught by Zhuchuani. Alright, let's put it this way. Your case is too complicated. A simple murder case caused so many problems. Just thinking about it gives me a headache. In the future, if there are cases in your circle, I'd better not take them. I don't have the obligation to do so anyway, Baiya complained. Isn't the assistant next to Shenyan your friend? Will you help him? Zhuchuani asked tentatively. You mean Lu Shuang? I'm also very puzzled. I haven't been in contact with her for almost 6 years. How did she suddenly become Shenyan's assistant? Could there be some kind of story between them? Left Deputy Chief, your original goal was to become the president. You can make an issue out of this. Maybe there will be an accident. However, Baiya did the opposite. But what? Zhuchuani asked quickly. As far as I know, Shenyan is a very cautious person. I've also investigated his background. He does things very cleanly, and his subordinates are also very clean. He didn't leave any traces behind. Unlike your subordinates, any one of them can do a bunch of bullshit. I suggest that if Left Deputy Chief wants to be the president for a long time, you should change the blood of those dirty people in your hands. Otherwise, they will become a threat to you sooner or later. I can do this for you. Also, think about it. Shenyan is such a scheming person. Why would he purposely let a woman who doesn't have any talent and isn't devastatingly beautiful stay by his side? Could it be a trap set by him, waiting for someone to take the bait? After all, Lu Shuang seems very out of place by his side. It's hard not to be suspicious, Baiya said deliberately. Zhuchuani was silent. He seemed to be convinced by Baiya. What's your opinion? My opinion isn't important. But I hope that you won't target me again. I'll say the important thing again, Baiya said straightforwardly. Today, Xing Buhua told me that he wants to pursue you. What do you think of this matter? After all, he is very similar to your husband, Zhuchuani said in a low voice. Because it's too similar, it makes me feel like there's some terrifying plan behind it. Do you think I'll agree to it? Baiya chuckled. Since you think of yourself as an outsider, Zhuchuani said sarcastically, don't you think it's time to dismiss the dark shadows around you? One shouldn't have the intention to harm others, but one must always be on guard against others. As an orphan, I'm always worried and afraid. Today, I found a lot of eavesdropping devices in the villa, and you guys just came for a while. You guys sure did a good job. I'm just a weak woman. Why do you guys have to do this? I'm going to apply for some people from Leng Shuai. After all, I'm still young and I cherish my life. Alright, is there anything else? If there's nothing else, I'm going to hang up. I've eaten too much. Baiya started to slack off. Since you don't want to be in the outside circle, what's your purpose? Zhuchuani didn't hang up. I don't have any purpose. I'm just eating and drinking aimlessly. When I have a purpose, I'll tell you. After Baya finished speaking, she didn't hang up. Zhuochuani was the first to hang up. Song Shiu asked worriedly, Xiao Ya, are you all right? Baya shook her head. I'm fine. No matter how good Zhuochuani is, he's still too childish to play mind games with a psychologist like me. Don't worry, Ma. After eating, let's take a walk and breathe in the fresh air, Song Shiu said gently. Okay, Baya replied. Put on more clothes when you go out. It's cold outside, Song Shiu reminded her again. Okay. Baya went to get the clothes while Song Shiu washed the dishes. The two of them went out for a walk. It was late winter and very cold. If Gu Lingqing was by her side, he would definitely hold her hand and put it in his pocket. She walked to the lake and the scene of Gu Lingqing fishing with her seemed like it was just yesterday. She smiled. If there's a chance, he and I will bring you to a deserted island to stay for 2 days. When you go there, it's like a paradise. You can forget all your worries and stress. There's only joy and happiness left. You can be excited for a whole day just by gathering a single ingredient. It's simple and happy. Song Shiu lowered her head and smiled. When I first married Tianhang, I also imagined a loving life. However, we have power and wealth, but we don't have a love life. I'm also thinking, is this the life I want to live until I die? If Mom finds a suitable partner, Gu Lingqing and I will support you too. Song Shiu smiled. When I was abroad, I met someone who helped me. He was very selfless, but he made me feel warm. Because of his help, my problem was solved very quickly. We exchanged numbers and I have a good impression of him. I want to get along with him a little longer, but I'm not in a hurry. At my age, let nature take its course. Okay, let nature take its course. It's better to have nothing than to have something substandard. You must live the life you want. Okay, let's work hard together. I'm used to it. When Tianhang was around, I was unhappy every day. With you, I feel much more relaxed. I still want to be your daughter-in-law in my next life, Baya said with a smile. Then I must let Lingqing continue to be my son. Ha! The two of them laughed happily. Half an hour later, Baya went to the library to continue grading papers. As soon as she opened the door, Xing Buhua was already there. He walked quickly towards her. Chapter 658. His strong manly aura seemed to want to swallow her up. Baya was frightened and didn't respond. Also, she had something on her mind, but she had doubted him too many times. If she said it out loud, it would be too hurtful. He nibbled on her lips and entered her mouth, licking her and teasing the tip of her tongue. Baya's mind was in a mess. She tried to recall if the way he kissed was different. In the past, his kisses were direct, forceful, domineering, and full of power. She couldn't resist it. But now it was more like teasing. The moment she thought that he might not be Gu Lingqing, she was a little afraid. She shivered and pushed him away. He furrowed his brows and his eyes were filled with fear. He hugged her tighter and kissed her aggressively. It wasn't flirty like before but an irresistible desire. This was like Gu Lingqing again. She breathed hard. His breath was clear and clean, like the scent of the sun on the grass. She was a little dazed. She closed her eyes and kissed him back. He seemed to have calmed down and didn't let go of her. They kissed for 10 minutes before he let go of her, panting. Baya could tell that he was in a bad mood. What's wrong? Why didn't you answer my call? Xing Buhua asked, carrying her and walking towards the bed. Baya lowered her eyes and said softly, because I'm angry. Angry that I didn't do as we agreed? Angry that you didn't care about your own safety. If you want to cause all the conflicts, what's the point of pretending to be dead? Baya asked, frowning. But I can't watch you be in danger. Zhuochuani has a movement before he kills someone. He will touch his ring. My friend will only be here tomorrow. Let others know that you two are dating as soon as possible. It will take half a month to not arouse suspicion. You're too dangerous, Xing Buhua said in a low voice. He put her on the bed. Aren't you in danger? Baya's eyes reddened. If you die, I won't be able to live. But if I die, I know that you're stronger than me. If you die, I die too, Xingbuhua said in a low voice and sat on the edge of the bed. Bai Ye's eyes trembled. She looked at him and didn't say a word. However, he saw the tears flowing in her eyes. She was not crying, but she was exceptionally lovely, like the mist in a fairyland, or like the misty rain in Jiang'an. The feeling that enveloped his heart was also moist, and he was exceptionally moved. He didn't touch her before because he had a moral bottom line. After all, she was his brother's wife. But what if Gu Lingqing died? He was afraid that she would follow. He wanted her to fall in love with him and hide it for a lifetime. In this way, she would live well under his love. Moreover, in their interactions, he increasingly realized that he loved her to the point where he could not extricate himself. Her personality was not lively, but she was quick-witted and introverted. However, every word she said had a fatal attraction. She was very gentle but tough, very strong but also weak. She was so kind that she would feel sad when her subordinates were injured, but she could stand on the front line and kill the enemy for love. He liked every aspect of her, and he remembered every frown and smile of hers. He was even glad that Gu Lingqing could meet her, so that he could meet her too. Xiao Ye, you're 3 months pregnant, right? Xingbuhua asked in a hoarse voice. Bai Ye was slightly stunned. She knew that he was asking about when she was pregnant. She was 3 months pregnant, and they could have sex, but there was still a faint resistance in her heart. Xingbuhua saw her reaction and kissed her lips. He almost begged, "Don't reject me." Bai Ye felt pain in her heart. He had said this to her a long time ago. At that time, she was still Su Jiaron's wife. Memories flooded her mind in an instant. She still remembered their first time. She still remembered that she was kidnapped, and the moment Gu Lingqing appeared. She also remembered that when she was kidnapped, her little finger was cut off, and Gu Lingqing also cut off his little finger to accompany her. She also remembered that during the explosion, he did not forget to save her even at the cost of his life. Tears rolled down her cheeks, and she nodded. Xingbuhua smiled. He was emotional, excited, and his mood was indescribable. He kissed her tears and ate them all. The salty, astringent tears slowly moved to her lips. He first took off his clothes, revealing his muscular upper body. Her fingers stroked the lines of his body. She was familiar with Gu Lingqing's body. Indeed, they were exactly the same. Even if they were twins, they could not be so similar. She should not let her imagination run wild, and took the initiative to kiss his skin. She only kissed his shoulder gently, and he felt a surge of electricity running through his body. It was a wonderful feeling, and he wanted more, so he did not move. Bai Ye saw that he only looked at her gently, and did not continue, and she was a little puzzled. Xingbuhua pressed the back of her head, lowered his head, and kissed her deeply. He said softly, "I like it when you kiss me." Bai Ye's face blushed, and under the dim light, it was bright and charming. She kissed along the lines of his body, and sometimes she would stop, sucking a red mark. Xingbuhua could not help but moan hoarsely. Her face became even redder, and she trembled as she tried to unbuckle his belt, but she could not do it. He pressed her hand down and opened the buckle. She rarely took the initiative, and she was like this in the past. She was more reserved and easily shy. She was a very traditional woman. He still did not move, and looked at her with infatuation. She kissed his lumbar muscles. "Xiao Ye, help me take it off," Xingbuhua said in a hoarse voice, and in the night, it was a little more bewitching. She let out a breath, and her face was so hot that she felt a little out of breath. She held the waist of his pants, and before he took it off, she could already feel his hot breath. Suddenly, the phone in his hand rang. She was shocked and let go of her hand. Xingbuhua frowned in annoyance and took out his phone, wanting to turn it off. But when he saw the caller ID, he hesitated, stepped out of the bed, and picked up the call. He asked in a bad tone, "What's the matter?" Bai Ye saw that his face had suddenly turned very bad, and she had a bad feeling in her heart. He hung up the phone, and looked at Bai Ye reluctantly. He lowered his head and kissed her forehead. "Xiao Ye, I have something urgent to do, and I have to leave first." "What's the matter?" Baya asked worriedly. Don't worry, I can solve it. Xingbuhua smiled. She knew that he did not want to talk about it, and so she did not ask. He quickly put on his clothes and kissed her on the cheek again and reminded, Don't be too tired, I might not be able to come tomorrow. Take care to rest and call me if there's anything. Baya nodded, and seeing that he was nervous, she hurriedly left. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.